there for Amazon. I've only had 2 trades. You've been working on that. Man, Randy, I didn't realize you didn't like souvlaki that much over there. This guy's really taking it out.
Yeah. Breaking down the
on the desk. All right, I'm off to the gym, man. We'll do a little bit of free weights today.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, and then we go on the. I always do the elliptical for 20 or 30 minutes. Right, try to burn like 300-400 calories doing that, and then we lift the weights here because I'm trying to aspire to these guys on our left and to you as well, Obi. And then after that, a little 10 minutes in the sauna, a little cleanse, and then we'll come back and we'll see what's going on with the lunch. So that's my plan. You're still in Netflix? No, you.
Oh, I got out.
You're out of that one. All right, the board.
The next one.
When the board's already switched over there, we know we got to go over. So thank you, everybody, for watching here. As the renovations continue, Obi, great show there. Join Obi and myself one more time at 2 p.m. Thank you to Ramin, Andre, Fabian, Brendo, Sharif, Joe, obviously to Obi. Thanks to Randy and all the guys working on our set here today. And a big thank you. Adair had a busy one. We did have some numbers come out and lots of news dropping. Stay tuned, man. If you're looking for news, it's going to be happening all afternoon, all midday. Adair's there, Sharif's here. We're ready to go. Thank you for watching. Over to the Midday Show. Ciao for now.
Bang. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Midriff, and I'm Sharif.
Midriff.
Yeah, your midriff was showing there. You know,
Was
you
it?
had a little Zeke Elliott going on there.
Oh, yeah, that's how I would wear stuff in football, man.
Yeah, that Zeke Elliott, remember? He had like a little midriff going on. All right, man, where's everybody at? Good morning to everybody. What the hell is going on in the world of small cap gappers? We're going to get right down to it. But first, we got to say hello to everyone. Shout out to Haziz and Angry Wife. We got Y3KO, Love, Christmas 123. We got Ronaldo. We got Zippers Binder, TJ or TX Badger. We got Yummy Thai Foods, Jay Koingi, Eclectic Passions, Anurag. We got Ahmad Egypt, come to Egypt, Habibi. Ronian. Man, we got Grant Ratcliffe, Yorkie TV. Who else, man? We got Jody Mills. Who else? We got Juju Trader. I like that. We got Front Porch Trader in the skips. Shout out to, who else? Trader Forever, Safe. We got Simply Something or Another, Drop Systems, Wyatt. We got Papacito. We got Michael Lulu. All right, guys, we're going to have to go to Adara. She's got news at the big desk.
CRM here. This one pushing higher right now. This is actually day 2 earnings. It's currently trading at intraday highs. It looks like they're just announcing that global Black Friday sales reached $79 billion. That's up 6% year over year. Sounds like this is kind of similar to what we have with Adobe Analytics, where they just kind of announced sales data. But either way here, Salesforce announcing that apparently Black Friday sales across the globe reached $79 billion this season. Back to Sharif and Joe.
All right, good morning, guys. Let's just get right down to it before we see what your boy Joey Option has been trading. And I know he's got a banger, so he's going to have a lot to talk about. Everybody and their mother's third cousin already knows about SMX. It's insane. And I was just telling the boys over here, I was actually speaking to the Algo boys in the back. They did a little looking into it. And to borrow 100 shares short, at least for the moment when they looked, on SMX, costs a light, a cheap, a thrifty, a frugal $13,000 for 100 shares. I don't know if that's still currently the price, but that was. Check it, Katina, man. Let me know. Thank you. 490 high on SMX, up 220%. It's all sorts of insane, but I'm assuming a lot of us don't want to jump into this one, so here's another one. TWNP. Great look and great breakout above $2, 218 high. Look at that 180, 175 breakout there. This one is going to be certainly in focus for me. It is up 80% as we speak. There's DEVS as well, Joe. Charge point running from the morning. IRBT, a holdover, and SFIX. I haven't punched into anything yet. We're going to be looking at TWNP likely here, Joey. But show him that trade, my man.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Netflix. First thing Sharif said to me this morning was, yeah, brother, it was like, hey, yeah, Warner Brothers Netflix deal is now, I mean, they're signing for it, so.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, how much was it? How much did they say? 900.
Okay, so the price has changed.
Oh,
Yeah, the price has changed.
Last time I checked.
Go ahead, Katina, man.
Yeah.
And $15 right now to borrow 100 shares of SMX. So we talked about this yesterday with Neil. Like, so if you're borrowing shares here, you're going to need to make $90 on the short. to pay back, your borrow cost. So right now here at Real Trading, we do have them available, but to borrow 100 shares is $915. So every $10 that goes down, that's just $100. You need $90 of profit or of trade to make that worth it. So we can keep updating it as we go along. But yeah, good question there, Sharif. $915 right now at Real Trading to borrow 100 shares of SMX.
Thank you, Katina Man. I appreciate that. Katina Man's got the account, so he'll be able to update us on that. Joey.
Yes, sir.
You were in the middle of something.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit about some Netflix. It was on one, so not super chill today, but we're not going to complain whatsoever. It's now turning slightly negative. But yeah, I mean, a nice move at that 99.50. I was giving it 50 cents of risk, and we start taking profits at a 1-to-1, and then we get a move all the way up to 101. It does climb to that resistance zone, which I was referring to earlier, and that's going to be around that 105 level. But Sharif, what we got going on right now
what do you got,
is
Joey?
IONQ, as that's starting to work for us nicely here, guys. We'll take a little bit off once again. Nothing substantial, a nice little trade on Netflix this morning, and that's how we want to start our Fridays. So IONQ is that next potential one. Also, I did take a small attempt. I was talking to Katina Man. I was like, hey, man, I need you to unblock this for me. And then he pretty much hit me with the Austin 316, if you guys know what that is. And then I'm like, oh, no, man. He's like, no, it's unblocked. It's unblocked. So, yeah, at the end of the day, IONQ, and then just a little test trade that was nothing here on with the Austin 316.
Yeah. Well, in other words, he gave you a gesture.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, dude, what? Come on, man. No, he was obviously joking around. But no, I was just trying something out there, and then that was the only little loss that we take. It was just more or less a test trade. But IONQ working out for us.
Shout out to KC526. KC held SMX from yesterday from $113 frickin' dollars. Shout out to KC526. Absolute banger of a trade. Good on you, girl, for having the compunction to actually hold that and the fortitude to be able to hold that overnight. And you saw what it did. I mean, it got to 450 in the pre-market. OB came in this morning. He was all like befuddled. He couldn't believe what the price action was. And then it retraced all the way down into 175 bucks. So we thought, that was the end of that. No, I come back and everybody on the floor is talking about SMX. I was at the gym, obviously. Where else would I be, right? So here we go, Joey. Look, there's probably a lot of us that are not going to trade SMX today, but there are others going. Another one that I didn't mention because it wasn't really going when I was doing my scans, CET freaking X. There we go, $4.05, up 30%, rocketing up off that close yesterday of $3. So already 105 in the money at the high. So keep your eye out on this one. Separately, the one that I'm keeping my eye very close on here, TWWNP. Alas, we have two topping tail candles, all of which breached into that 2 1/5, but there is aggressive selling in that high teens, low 20s area. That's the bad news. The good news is this current 5-minute candle has a higher low relative to its predecessor, so we're going to be on the lookout for that as well. I want to mention DBRG. Kind of a weird one here. I didn't really look into the news behind this, but this one gapped up all sorts of crazy and now is just holding the volume weighted average price. I don't like to punch into these ones because oftentimes when they start making umpteen amount of lower highs like this, they fail VWAP and then end up going negative on the day. And I don't really want to do that right now. So unless I start seeing a curl, like a U shape off DBRG, I don't want to guess whether or not it's going to hold VWAP. And it's already given me a couple of good prints here, but I'm going to be quite insistent that I see a little bit more. So there's a whole bunch going today, guys. Trade them carefully. The thing is, I've talked about this in the past. Once a crazy ass one like SMX starts going, it has a tendency to infect others. Okay, as the degens, their hands start shaking, Joey. They're like, I missed SMX. I need something else. You know what I mean? So TWNP, CETX, is a whole bunch going.
Sorry, I was just taking a sip of a good old H2O right there. No, we got stopped out break even. Hydration Nation, 100%. We got stopped out at that break even here on IONQ. That's what I think is important to know. Look how it's coming against us now. If these lows hold up, maybe we'll take another stab at it. But it looks like the market slowly wants to curl over. I was talking with Christoph in the chat. I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin just, Yeah, unfortunately not participating with the market rally once again and starting to head significantly lower and just now holding this downtrend. So you run into that $51 and then now you're starting to come back in. We'll take a look at IBIT from a daily, and sure enough, you bounce right off of this 53 level. That's going to be prior support on this, I guess in this head and shoulders pattern or whatever you would like to call it, back in December of 2024. And then boom, you get that nice aggressive rejection. And then now there goes IONQ putting in a new low of the day, guys. So I'm happy that we got out of that one. We're going to be sitting on our hands. You know, I'm in some SMR as well too. Swinging this trade from 20, I think like 2040 or something along those lines. So not too bad whatsoever, but a little choppy price action right around the volume weighted average price. So I'm sitting on my hands, guys. It hasn't been a horrible day whatsoever. So we're going to be patient and wait for those precise entries before we take anything else. But it does look like the market wants to bleed. I do like a potential short on Tesla though, Sharif. Why? Because there was a lot of indecision prints up here. And I'm like, all right, I was talking with somebody in the chat. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be patient on this one and let it do its additional liquidity grabs. You run into that 459 level. And guess what? We've been talking about this for quite some time. We're heading right towards a neckline. If that breaks and the volume starts to pick up, there might be a potential trade there, guys.
All right, we're trying to punch into TWNP here. Let's see, do we get the addy out? We got 192. VWAP is at 182. I'll defend into 182, but if it loses VWAP, it loses me as a trader on this one, which is fine. Let's see exactly what this one has to offer. Let's post now that we've got 92s. And we're going to post a little bit below 2 and a little bit above 2. And I do have a DCA order, as you can see, the cyan circle there, and that is to defend the volume weighted average price. So we're going to see what we get on that one. TWNP, 2 topping tail candles into the 220s, dropping below 2 now. Let's see if it wants to hold the area support. I'm also in CETX. This one's also at area highs. I can't give this to prior bar low because prior bar low is at 368, okay? And I ended up getting in at 402. I'll give it to current candle low. If I get stopped out, I don't mind because my entry is pretty close to where the current bar low is, but I'll be looking to get more at 370, between 360 to 370 on CETX. And the reason I say that is it's one of those anomalous situations where the price action developed quite quickly and the volume weighted average price is actually trading higher than the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And if that is the case, that presents me with a buy zone between the 10 EMA and VWAP. So that's why I'm saying buy zone rather than buy level. Still showing me here 03s. There's a seller in the mid 4 single digits, so we're unable to get the print. I've got my first profit taker on CETX at 411 and nothing has printed. So we'll see whether or not this one wants to come down, stop me out at current bar low, in which case we'll look to that buy zone I just spoke about, or whether or not we'll get some prints to the high side. Still TWNP, still bleeding its own blood, as my boy Joey Options likes to say. Here comes that dip trade at 85, 82 is where the volume weighted average price is. The 10 EMA, again, below VWAP here because the price action developed quite quickly, showing me 78. So my stop goes below 75, where the 10 EMA is on the 5. So that's what we're doing with that one, Joey. Show them what you got on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. So someone mentioned TSLZ. We're going to be taking a stab at this one. If it comes back through the volume weighted average price, then we're just going to get out of it. It's pretty choppy this morning, guys. So if the market does want to rebound, I have no issues with getting out whatsoever. So I think that's really important to note. If it does want to rebound, and I'm not going to put this market behind me whatsoever. It only takes like this, a flick of a switch, and then next thing you know, you're rocking and rolling. Oh yeah, remember that song?
Flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist. That was crazy. I remember that song. Yeah, and there we go, man.
KC 520 freaking 6, dropping another 20 memberships in the chat. If you are not in the chat, you are not going to get one of these memberships, and that is part and parcel of being in the chat. Casey, man, you're always doing it. You're always doing it live.
Oh my day, Sharif. There it goes. As Tesla starting to come back in here, guys. We're going to take 20% off up here on TSLZ. Let's see if we can catch that fill right there. And bang.
Feels, bro.
All right. Sorry. Oh, no. Leanne asked me. He said, Joe, chill on the bank. So, you know, we'll listen to what. No, I'm obviously joking. Aside from that, guys, nice little move here on TSLZ. Thank you to the individual who mentioned that. And there it goes once once again, Sharif, another little pop up there in TSLZ, my brother.
My man.
Let's see if we can catch that fill a little bit higher. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, bang. And there we go, 1207. Nice little move on Tesla.
Nice, my man, nice. All right, here we go. CETX bouncing up. We get the first profit taker there at 92s. I'm posting at, 88. I'm posting at 91, and I'm posting at 95. On CETX, it's only up 29%, but it's still quite strong. The chart pattern here is what's keeping me interested in this one. Back up into 89 we go, looking for a continuation into 4. I probably should put some beak wetters also just below 4 and then just above 4, because sometimes, well, it can't shake that whole dollar level. There we go, up into 89s. Can we get another print there? I'm still waiting in the low 90s, but nothing printing on that one quite yet. Let's see what else we got, man. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. I don't have much else going on. I'm keeping my eye on DBRG, but if that one doesn't start curling and give me a U-shape, I'm not going to jump into that one real quick, Joe. What's up?
Okay, yeah, beautiful stuff. All right, guys, make sure you guys get those votes in the chat as Tesla continues to sell here. We have the market, the triple Qs and the SPY now south of the volume-weighted average price. Now, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on it. If we get a 5-minute hammer candle printing here, then I'll just get out of it as soon as it comes back to my break even, and we won't feel any type of way about it. I did take off 40%. I'll leave 60% for a potential runner, just in case we do want to continue that downward trajectory. Bitcoin still selling. You're now down to $50.65. SMR holding up relatively well. Meta right back at the volume-weighted average price. So we're going to be keeping an eye on a lot of these names. I haven't even seen what NVDA has been up to or what AMD has been up to, but there it goes. Nice little move here on TSLZ to the top side. That's obviously going to be Tesla short. So let's see. We're going to post up there and see if we can catch this additional fill, guys. But so far, so good, and a pretty decent start to today's session. It's Friday. It's always good leading into the weekend, having a solid day. Regardless, if not, you go home, you do more due diligence, you go over your trades, and you look how you can just get a little bit better, and that's really important to note, guys. Bang, and there it is, a fill on TSLZ. Let's go. Bitcoin's really selling here, Shreve, man.
Where's it at?
It's 50, 60.
Oh, no,
yeah, it's not good. It might head a little bit lower here, guys. I thought that we would get a half-decent turnaround to maybe 100K, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now.
All right, Joey, there, oh, wow, there goes CETX, right up back into the high 90s. We got 80s on right now, so we're about 17 pennies in the money, looking for that 99 fill, and then looking for a 403 fill. Let me just make sure that I've got the requisite amount of shares on over here. No, we don't have enough. So this is a great hold off this technical level. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to put a dip trade here to get some more shareage in the mid 80s. Let me just do that right now. So we're going to throw up some at 86s. So if it dips down, I want to get a little bit more. Separately, I got stopped at a TWWNP. It lost the 10. It lost VWAP. It's got to get back above that for me to get interested. Those two topping till candles into 221 were operative. I think SMX is going to halt. We need to look at SMX before we go anywhere else. Let me just take this one off. It looks like it's going to halt to the downside. No, not. It's at 386.26. Yes, it's going to halt at 386.26, and it is halted. SMX halted to the downside now, guys. 386.26, up 173.94%. This is an important level we're looking at here, this halt level right here. Take a gander at this area in the pre-market. I'm talking about that 7:30 a.m. spike. It got right into that area, and then all hell broke loose, and it lost, I think, $200. So it's right at an important area of technical support. Let's see if it ends up holding here. I'm not going to be punching into this one without some more analysis. Adara.
We're here with MSFT, Microsoft on watch. User reports are indicating some problems here with Microsoft Teams. So, Cloudflare earlier today had issues again. Looks like Microsoft Teams having some problems. I'll keep you guys posted if there's any updates. Back to you.
Go ahead, Joe.
Perfect. All right, guys, another fill here as Tesla continues its bleeding, guys, and the market started continuing to come back in. We now have Netflix south of the volume-weighted average price. So way to stick to your guns there, Obi, and hold that short. Hopefully you got down to the volume-weighted average price in a little bit more, but Farm trader, market about to go bear market Monday. Black swan like HKD, SMX, small caps flying. Always the sign. Look at HKD market chart. So that is going to be of 2022. You want us to go back in history that much, my friend? Oh my days. But what we got to do first and foremost is take a little bit more profit off here in TSLZ as this trade continues to work out for us and the market bleeding. One thing to note before I send it back to Sharif, maybe we take a little bit of a stab on a long here in Bitcoin. We can get a recovery, a beautiful hammer candle print. But if this low is broken, then thesis invalid. So I'm going to be looking for this to hold up. And also keep an eye on the volume, guys. Substantial volume as we continuously move to the downside. So might not be a turnaround just yet, but I'm going to take my chances because I have to listen to what price is telling me. And you know what we say around here.
What do you say, Joey?
Price is king.
Oh, really? Yeah, cool. Market, did you look at Farm Trader Super or no?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I got
you got it. That's more.
Market about to go bear market Monday, black swan like HKD SMX, small caps flying, always the sign. Look at 8/5 2022 HKD versus market chart. Yeah, we all remember HKD, of course. Thank you for that. Who is this? Just looking, can't see the name. What? Saws. Thank you very much, Saws, for the $1.99 super chat. How many memes memberships donated to shave off the beak wetter? I don't know what the hell that means, man. But we're just going to hit the beak wetter there for you. Enjoy it. What else you got over there, Joey?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm going to wait, be patient for the 1 minute chart here on IBIT. It looks like it does want to start to rebound. So risk profile relatively tight, guys. Let's take a look at this here. We're trading around 50, 63s, and I'm not going to tell myself I'm wrong from 20 cents from now. So we'll start relatively small on this trade to see if we can get it going. And if it does want to grind back towards VWAP, then we're getting involved 110%. All right, yeah, nice little bounce. I like seeing that. Holding some key support levels. So we are going to be long a couple of names there. 20 cents of risk here on Bitcoin. If it doesn't work, again, I'm not working with the strongest asset, but with the market starting to rebound, you now have Netflix right back at the volume-weighted average price and Meta putting some indecision prints right at VWAP. So there we go. Bang, already instantly in the money, so we're not going to complain whatsoever on IBIT.
All right, here, man, CTX is taking out levels. Here we go, and we got the ad. Very pleased with this one, as we did get that mid-80s ad that we got, but it's still knocking the door of $4, and that $4 seller still, you know, putting a damper on everybody's long party over here. There's 401 now. The bid barely creeping up above that $4 area. The ask has been above it, but it's still zigging. A little 4, a little mid 390s. So no clearance, no decisive clearance, but this is probably an opportunity for me to throw some more profit takers in case it gets that aggressive price spike above $4. So my highest print right there, we'll put at 12s, and then we'll put some just in front of that $1/5 of a dollar. Still keeping an eye on this one. 2 penny spread at the most I've seen. Here we go, the bid back above 4. Now there it is, Joseph. It just price spike up. Put your orders ready. The resting orders, they'll help you catch these because they don't spend too much time in any one price area. Seller at 410. Run for your life, bro. They're coming for you, man. Here we go. We got the print there at 11s, Joe. Now we're waiting at 18s. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher on this one. Good strength here on CETX. It's a 414 high a day, and it just price spiked back into 14, so we'll get another print there. The only print that we're still waiting on is that 18 print, so let's go ahead and post some more. We're going to wait now at 25, see if we can get that one. Pleased that I was able to get that nice dip trade in the mid-80s, so I'm going to keep my eye on that one. Separately, I got into DEBG, okay? This one's much slower. Where'd I get in? I got in at 69. Not on purpose, I swear. That was totally random. But now that I see it, I like it a little bit more. It's still holding prior bar low, and it's been putting in higher lows ever since that 1055 kind of equidistant doji candle with the higher and lower wicks kind of being the same length. Since that time, it's been higher low, higher low, higher low. Whether or not it maintains that, we'll have to wait and see. I put my stop below 50 pennies. So we'll risk a little bit on this one. I just saw that CETX just dropped again, man. 414 high. It's coming down aggressively here, Joey. I'm going to flatten out right there. Oh, wow. And look at the blood come out of that one, man. Oh, my goodness. Right back into the 10 EMA, but it's still holding the 10 EMA, ironically enough. So maybe this is a good entry point. That 10 EMA is wild. It's holding up, so I'm punching back into this one. I didn't get it. I did. Okay, so prior bar low. What's prior bar low on this one? 58. We put the stop at 57, so we can hold prior bar low. Joey, take over for a second. I have to throw in my stops.
Absolutely, guys. So, I mean, here it is with Bitcoin. I'm not in love with the space right now. I'm not in love with the asset class whatsoever, and it's pretty weak. So if it does want to break that 50-50 level, then I'm going to get out of it, and I don't think I'm going to take too many trades on this specific name, right? Just because. Want to stick with the strength, but here it is. Look at the tape. Look at the tape go. That's pretty good. There it is, a sign of strength. Never doubt yourself, I guess, at the end of the day, as it's slowly starting to climb back higher. What do we got up there for the super chat? Assassino, let me know. Shout out to Adara too. Thank you for the ULTA info. Let's go shopping. All right, yeah, I mean, it is that time of the year where you want to start to go and grab your Christmas presents. I've done zero. I'm usually a last-minute guy, last-minute Lance, as they would like to call them, when it comes to the Christmas shopping. But maybe we get it done a little bit earlier. Let's go Bitcoin and see if we can get this move back towards, I'm going to aim for 51 or 50.90s even. I think that's going to be a bonus in this name. Lower highs on the 1 minute, so you can see that downtrend is still intact here, and it doesn't look like it wants to break. So as soon as we hit that 50-50 level, we are at a dodge, brother.
All right, man, we got, what do we get? We got 69, no, we got 69 again. Joey, I got 69 on both. Yeah, I didn't mean to, actually, to be quite honest with you. So we did take a quick print there. So I got back in to defend that 10 EMA. It has to hold prior bar low. If it loses prior bar low, I'm going to get out of this one, and we'll have to give back a little bit, sadly. But we already got a little bit here. Now I've put my resting orders in the mid 80s and low 90s. Let's see if this holds the 59 penny area. Otherwise, we're going to stop out. We're going back to the big desk.
I've talked about Google here. GeoOGL pushing a little bit higher. The company announcing that their AI Pro and Ultra subscribers are now going to receive priority access to Google Anti-Gravity. So Google making an announcement on its blog. Apparently their AI Pro and Ultra subscribers now are going to be getting some priority access to their anti-gravity. Back to you.
There we go. So still holding on to this one. This one does look like it's still zigging and zagging here. It hasn't taken out prior bar low. I'm talking about CETX, but it's not rocketing up either. I just saw an 80 print there, super quick on the time and sales, but I have to get 82s. There's 80 again, looking for a move back into the mid 80s. That should print me on a whole bunch of different resting orders, but the spread is opening up. I just saw it as wide as 5 pennies. There we go. Now it's opening up a little bit again, 4 pennies. So keep your eye out on this one. Separately, I want to mention SMX still halted, guys. This one is going to be more than probably a 10-minute halt, having halted at 118.43. So the earliest this one will be open is 11:18:43. It'll be open 11:28:43 at the earliest. I'm still holding a little bit here on DBRG. I haven't added anything into this one, but it did break trend. So this current candle on the 5-minute chart did actually make a new area low. It really hasn't even come back down into the 10 EMA. So I'm going to try to pack my patience there. But there comes CETX again. And this one looks like it will lose prior bar low. If it will, let's just keep an eye out on this one. It still hasn't lost it, but it is now, just barely holding on to the 10 moving average on the 5-minute chart. So I don't know how I feel about this one at the moment. Charge Point as well is another one that is, yeah, it's a small cap gapper, but I remember this one from the pandemic. Obviously, they are an EV charging station company. So even though their market cap does fit the profile of a small cap gapper, it's a developed company. It's been around for a while. Most of the prints here are defending the 10 EMA on the 5, so you've got a nice little bull flag to start the day at 9:30. Now we're getting a little consolidative with about that 10, I want to say 10.5 as a low, and about 10 mid 80s, 10 90s as that area high on Charge Point. Charge Point, we could ride trend on that one. I'll keep my eye out on CHPT. Okay, SMX is now open again. So be careful with this one, guys. It is now holding. Let's just take a quick look at SMX. It's now below that area high that we put in the pre-market. I'm talking about, that 370 to 380 area. It's showing me 67s right now. So it does look like it will lose trend. And I just got stopped out of the last remaining amount on CETX as this one did break prior bar low. So we'll give back a little bit on that, Joey.
Absolutely. All right, guys, still holding up, man. We're holding up on the, yeah, no problem. We're still holding up on those levels, so not too bad of a look whatsoever here on IBIT. Once again, same, we're not changing the system, we're not changing the game plan or anything along those lines. So as soon as that comes breaking the lows, LZ, there we go. We're still holding on to this TSLZ was a tongue twister on that one. So yeah, I mean, there it is, guys, still working out for us. We're holding on to approximately 30% of our remaining position. Other than that, it's been Netflix that has been the trade of the day, now coming back into $100. So way to grab the top there, OB around 104. Glad that one's working out for you. And then also IONQ, I haven't seen what that is. It hasn't rebounded off of those lows. I have no issues about that whatsoever because we did take a little bit of a trade on that one, and then we get stopped out break even, right? And then we just get out and we go find something else to trade. So a couple partials on that front, and then sure enough, bang, come back to the break even, and then it tanks. Where was our entry? Another 50 cents. So yeah, get out when you're supposed to, and it's just gonna save you a world of pain and a headache, because that's what you gotta do. And ask me how I've learned that lesson. Experience, Sharif. We've all done those things, and that's gonna be literally. I think it's going to determine a lot in your trading journey. If you just get out, deal with the short-term pain opposed to just bag holding and holding things, you're going to have such a better time, brother. All
right, guys. DBRG, we just took the first print on there as it spiked up into the high 70s. What do we have? We have 69 on that one. I've posted now into the mid-80s and low 90s. Let's keep an eye out on that. Charge point is getting back into days high, man. Oh, geez Louise. Okay, so we're going to take off TWWNP. Because that one we got stopped out on, and we're not going to be looking at that. Charge points on the New York, by the way, guys. 1092 high. Look, 1075 is where the 10 EMA is, but I don't want to focus and become myopic about the 10 EMA because it has lost it before. So I'd like to base my trade off that 10.5. That's where I perceive the former area of resistance to be. So if it does come into that area, to me, that's a buy zone, but that's the deepest area. I would buy it at, obviously until 1017 where VWAP is right now. So charge point, I want to work into this one separately. I got into another trade here, DEVS, devs. Shout out to all my developers. This one's got a bit of an upward channel. Could be a possible head and shoulders pattern here, hopefully not. I'm going to pick this up or look to defend it into the $0.50. We got, I believe, 59 on this one, currently showing me 57s. We're going back to the big desk for crypto.
And let's really talk about crypto because BTC here has lost 89,000 as of just now. As you can see, I have the 15-minute chart up to kind of show this interaction. We were holding some resistance here at that 91.5 area really early this morning. We drop to as low as that 89.7, pick up right at the open, but then that 91 halves level, it's going to continue to be a level of issue here for BTC, at least in the short term. We've declined quite significantly from that level. Here's the daily chart. Daily, as you can see, 94,000 serving as some resistance, but we have made some higher lows, continuing to do so from that drop that we made on November, I guess the most recent low here, November 21st, 2025. That'd be 2 Fridays ago. I also want to mention, some people here are still very bullish on crypto, most notably Tom Lee. Tom Lee maintains his prediction that within a few months, quote unquote, not super clear what the timeline is, but he thinks Bitcoin's going to be at $250,000 in a few months. Now, by January, he expects Bitcoin between $150,000 and $200,000. So lots of intensity here for Tom Lee for Bitcoin. He also has very, very lofty predictions for Ethereum right now, trying to hold on to that 3,000 level. He said that actually he thinks it's grossly undervalued, quote unquote, at 3,000, and he does expect this to continue to escalate. Apparently seeing in the coming months that Ethereum could reach 62,000. So lofty price targets for Tom Lee, not reflecting in the chart yet, but time will tell. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was reading an article by JPM yesterday, JP Morgan. They're saying that they have expectations in the next 6 to 12 months of a price target of approximately 170,000 on Bitcoin. So yeah, we'll see. Right now, it's not looking like that's going to necessarily be the case, but anything can happen, and it only takes a couple of days for this thing to rock and roll. I'll mention something though. Yesterday we had a pretty good day. We didn't put on a losing trade. This morning we were pretty good. Aside from that meta test trade, nothing wrong. But But my first actual loss in the past couple of days is here on IBIT, trying to grab the long off of the bottom. So there it goes. My favorite asset class, doing your boy a little bit dirty as it continues to bleed here.
Yes, man. Well, I told you, I remember I watched an interview between Becky Quick and Tom Lee back, I believe it was, in the early 2010s. I think I'm talking, you know what? It could have been 7. No, it was 17. It was 17 or 18 because it was after that big spike. I think we went to 18,000. What was it? 20,000?
Yeah,
18,000?
I would even
back in 17, 18. Anyway, so he was on Squawk Box and he was talking about his levels there, and Becky Quick was really pressing him. She's like, "You're gonna put this stuff in your portfolio?" And like, you know, it was before Bitcoin become mainstream.
Yep.
But who would have thought, you know, his levels were any good at the time? Obviously, it ended up being a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But you know, within a few years, I think what was it? So if it was 17, then 20, or was it 21 that we got the big move in Bitcoin? Was it 20 or 21?
I think
so
it was
a few years.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. Listen, I think we do head into those levels. It's just going to take, as you just mentioned, Sharif, I think it's just going to take significantly longer than what we're anticipating, really. Once this thing bottoms, you'll be able to identify that, and I think there's going to be multiple opportunities to get involved with Bitcoin and Ethereum if you want to. But at the end of the day, it's just the timeline. Tom Lee obviously being optimistic, a heavy holder of Ethereum, so rightfully so, he wants that thing to continue to climb higher, but $62,000 on Ethereum would be absolutely insane.
Well, everybody would think it's insane if you say something very, very high and away from the price, bro, but quite frankly, every crypto keeps moving.
Anything can happen, anything can happen, man.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. But yeah, TSLZ.
SMX is going to halt up.
Yeah, okay, are you in that one?
No,
okay,
I'm not going to be touching
You're not
SMX
touching
today,
that
brother.
today?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, TSLZ still working for us here nicely. Some indecision prints at the lows here in SPY, Qs, and a couple other names. But if those levels are breached, just keep an eye on it. There might be some more continued selling here today, guys.
All right, guys, 3 trades on right now. We got DEVS looking for continuation into the high of the day at around 79. We have 59s on. It's showing me 60. So basically break even on that one. New trade alert though, charge point. We punched in at the high, but I have an order, a resting order, a dip trade to get some more at 75. Where did we get in, Joey? We got 88s. It's showing me 95s. Now I do expect, of course, resistance at that whole dollar level. So I'll be looking to take some out just south of the whole dollar, and then we'll put some a little bit north in case, you know, it just takes out that whole dollar without really worrying about it. DBRG finally doing well on this one as that curling pattern that we spoke about off the volume weighted average price is starting to manifest. It did breach the pattern momentarily, I want to say at around 1120 when it did, or sorry, 1125 when it did make a new candle, the first candle to make an area low. Ironically, though, it ended up closing green, that candle that made an area low, and the subsequent candles ended up holding trend of higher highs and higher lows. And here we are at 85. I'm waiting at 88s, and then I'm waiting at mid 90s as well to get some more there. So charge point, DBRG and DEVS. Looking for that continuation on DEVS through 60. It looks like there is a seller of note here at $2.60 on DEVS, and you can see that based upon how many shares have printed 60 relative to what's posted on the gateway and has been posted on the gateway. So you feel like there's a hidden seller in and around that area. We'll have to see if we can shake him and take some nice moves to the high side. Yes, SMX is halted up again. 205%, 430.69 is the halt level, having halted at 1136.41 is the last print that I'm seeing coming in there. So the earliest this will be open is 1141.41. Likely, I don't want to say likely, that's not right. Maybe ends up being a 10-minute halt. The prior one was also as well. So be on the lookout there. Did I get anything on DEVS? Okay, so took out 60. Now we're showing 63 here on DEVS, which is where I'm waiting, but it's got to cross on both the bid and the ask for me to get that print. So I'm packing my patience here, Joey, looking for my first print on DEVS.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brinklon, I was just singing a song. Essentially, it's when Drake says, yeah, I'm not trying to be rich when I'm 40, I'm trying to make it now. So obviously, I'm just Trying to be somewhat sarcastic, but here goes TSLZ, guys, starting to come towards a key base. What we haven't done in the past couple of days, I don't think we did this yesterday, is take a look at the best performing sectors on today's session. So let's take a gander at what we got going on here and a look. The comm service, communications, I wonder, being led by who? All right, there it is. You guys are up 1%, consumer staples, 0.6, and then we have the energy sector, 0.5, sorry. So we're 0.5% there. The bottom three guys, we're looking at the healthcare down. You're down 1/5. Industrials, you're down 1/4. And then the utilities, you are down 0.5%. So some nice relative greenness here in the sector performance. But other than that, guys, what other trades can we get? Bitcoin, oh no, that's RGTI. Looking at some of the quantum names, I was thinking that, hey, maybe we get a continuation in some of the strength that we seen yesterday. Doesn't seem to be the case. Let's head over to some higher time frames and we can get rocking and rolling. So giving up a big portion of the move in which we got to experience from yesterday's session, and the exact same thing from RGTI, giving up the gab right there. But that's all right.
I like it.
Gift of the gab, right?
Gift of the gab.
Gift of the gab, as the old. Where's the ADL when you need him these days, man?
He's at a Chelsea game, probably.
He's at a Chelsea game. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, brother. I can't wait until the New Year's to get me some candy. We're just, yeah. I'm looking forward to that, man. Yeah, well, no garbage food until the New Year. ADL, yeah. What a guy, and his love for Chelsea. Born in his blue. No, I was here.
Here we go again. No, I don't do it.
I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. All right, so let's take a look at. So we went over the top performing sectors there. See what our volume scanner is bringing us this morning as well, too. Warner Brothers Discovery, definitely at the top of the list, guys, with 96.1 million shares traded on today's intraday session. And there it goes. Some choppy price action, very liquid in the pre-market, leading up until that 7:15 mark, and then sure enough, you start to skyrocket. SOFI putting in a lot of volume this morning. In the post-market yesterday, Sharif, big time tanking, continuing its downward trajectory. As for Netflix, guys, starting to cool off a little bit, downtrend. I grabbed a little bit, willing to grab some more, but if we start to get some indecision prints off of these lows, I think that's going to be a good opportunity for us to load the boat on NFLX.
Come on, devs, man. Give me the print, man. You're showing me 64s. I'm waiting at 63s. All right, we'll wait on that one. New trade, or not new trade, new small cap gapper, guys. YYAI at day's high. $1.39. It's breaking out quite aggressively. YYAI small cap gapper. Excuse me, I'm just trying to put it in onto my watch list on the side. Up 33%, $1.38. Currently showing the high is 139. Breakout level I perceive to be between, I want to say 120. It looked like there was a lot of resistance at that 120 area, and then it rocketed up at about 5 after the hour over here. Great strength right now from YYAI. Cheap one too. So those with a smaller account can pick up some more than maybe some SMXs, which is still right south of that 450 area. Did we get any prints, man, on devs? Yes, we got a couple here, Joey, finally. DEVS on the way back into 70 pennies, just momentarily flash 68s. I'm waiting, of course, at 69, and then we're going to wait a little bit above 70 in case we get a nice price spike up. Let's post it. Nope, that's not the one that I want. I want 69 and then 73. We'll wait there. There we go, 74s. We'll get that. So looking at that on DEVS, did we get the add on charge point? Not quite yet. I've got a dip trade here waiting, but it keeps jumping up every time it comes into the 10 EMA. There's buyers there, so I'm trying to front run it, and it's not really making a difference, quite frankly, to be honest. So we're not getting the add that we wanted here on charge point. Let's keep that one on watch. DBRG coming back into the 10 EMA. Now we're actually out of the money on this one after getting several prints. Let's see if this is an area to add. I think it is going to be an area to add, in fact. So I'm going to go ahead and punch in there, which is not giving it to me, of course. What's going on with the prints today? There's a 1 penny spread on this, man. Go, give me the print, my boy. All right, so we're not getting the print. Joey, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm probably going to get stopped out break even here. We only have 20% remaining on this TSLZ. I may as well just get out right now while we can before it continues to sell a little bit more. Oh, no, I hate how it does. Okay, bang. So we'll catch that fill. I mean, it didn't come back to the break even, but it looks like we're going to start to get somewhat of a rebound in the overall market, guys. Potential longs. I want to see, I wish I could just somehow pull up a chart of every previous Friday. For the past while, what I've personally observed is that the market typically trends to the top side, but we're starting to come back in a little bit here, so we'll keep that in mind. RGTI, QUBT, I'm assuming the whole quantum space is kind of just selling off here. QBTS, we'll take a look at it as well, too. I know this is batteries, but I want to take a look at QuantumScape starting to break a key neckline, guys. So keep an eye out for that $12.75 level to start to crack. We were going through a lot of things. SOFI, what have you been up to? Nice curl over pattern right there. So other than that, guys, been a pretty good start. We're not going to complain whatsoever. TSLZ, the only loss today is going to be on IBIT, so we're just going to stop watching that. Eyes on Meta as FBL is now unlocked here for the crew. I like trading this one, 2x leverage right there, holding up at the volume-weighted average price. Are we going to continue to push a little bit higher in this name? That'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's head over to the 30-minute to see what the high was on yesterday's session, and that's going to be around 687, so $20 from where we're trading at right now, 667.
Oh, God, here we go.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, Devs is knocking on the door. It's actually showing me 69 now on the ask side of the level 2, of course. It's got a cross. Let's see if this one can move on up. Man, I keep looking for an area to get into YYAI, and it just keeps going up higher, man. 146, 147 now showing up. I put a dip trade like a schmuck at a $1.36, thinking, you know, this one's gonna move back into the 10 EMA and I'm gonna get my ad. So much shows what I know, really. 147 right now, that's the high of the day. It's getting, I don't wanna say it's getting extended. I mean, it just started getting away from the 10 EMA at the last candle there, 1140. This candle is not even that far extended away. So I don't even think this is a bad area to punch in. I just don't like punching in front of the $0.50, man, because the $0.50 often acts as a bit of a resistance level. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of, maybe you know what I can do? Now that we're close to the 10 EMA, I can get in a little bit here, Joey, okay? We're gonna get in a little bit here in case, you know, it goes without me. And then I can leave my, my real order for that 10 EMA drop right back into that $1.35. So we're in a little bit, we're in 4 freaking trades right now, man. I gotta cool down with some of these trades here. But it's looking real good, real good. All right, Devs, we have actually a lot of shares on Devs. So let's go ahead and wet the beak a little bit over here so we can de-risk somewhat. Going back, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to go back and forth here because we've got a bunch of trades on YYAI. We did get that dip trade right now, but it's turning into a topping tail candle into that $1.47. That could be trouble. Let's keep an eye out on that one. Separately, CHPT is taking out levels again. Here we go, 1095. We got 88s on, and we did get a little bit of an ad there. Only one ad. I had 3, and I only got 1 of them. So CHPT looking real good, looking to move through that $11 level. We're gonna have to pack our patience for the breach of that 11. It is a whole dollar level. DEVS, we mentioned that one already. How about that DBRG? We got the ad. We got the ad at 65s, now showing me 71s. This candle did hold the 10 EMA, but I'd like a move above that 12 mid-80s to give a $13 a try. So we're gonna keep an eye out on DBRG. That one's up 30.6%, my man.
Absolutely, guys. All right, if there's anything specific, IRBT, yeah, I know that Jameson, you've been calling things out all day, brother. IRBT, Shreve, are you involved in that one today?
I'm not, brother.
No, not yet.
4, but not that one, yeah.
iRobot, shout out to Will Smith and company. Hey man, if I'm him, I'd be like, hey, you guys can't call it this. I own the rights to this name, iRobot. No, it's a good movie. Classic movie, if you think about it. That's one of the first kind of apocalypse, maybe not, I'm talking out of my wazoo. I don't know, I'm thinking of I Am Legend. Come on, get it together, man.
Get it, Joey.
All right, man. I Am Legend, a great movie though for those who have not.
Oh, I haven't watched that in a minute.
Yeah,
Isn't that Denzel? Is that Denzel?
No, that's our boy, man. Will.
Will? Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's our boy Will Smith.
My bad.
I am Joey says wrong.
I'm Joey.
That's funny. That's funny, man. You guys crack me up. Undefeated at all time. But this is what I'm looking at here, guys, across the board. We got the Qs, SPY, NFLX still coming back in, META, Meta, and then obviously SMR as this is starting to cool off a little bit, guys. $1 something. something off of those previous highs, which we seen yesterday, and then Tesla's slow curl over, rejecting the volume weighted average price. And someone mentioned this in the chat. Yeah,
he's back with some incredible rapping, says Rusty Touch.
Who's back with rapping?
Will Smith, because someone says, yo, he disappeared. I'm like,
yeah,
I heard a little bit of the rap.
Oh, did you see that rap?
I heard it.
Someone's just like, yo, get UNQ off the mic, man.
Yeah. UNQ?
Yeah.
More like grandpa, bro. I'm UNQ.
Yeah,
he's older than me by a lot.
Yeah,
too,
he's older, man. I mean, whatever they got
his
going on.
son has a really interesting sense of fashion, though. Let's just put it
that
that way.
does. It's like, man, I don't know. I think those guys are interesting people for sure. Did you see he was wearing like a house as a hat one time?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
He paints his face red.
Yeah, what's up with that? Who's that one artist who painted?
Formerly known as Prince? Oh, my
No.
bad.
Oh my days. Okay, so you know the guy, he like painted this mural in Facebook's original office, and Zuck gave him a bunch of shares. That turned out to like three. He's on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he just like paints like half of his face red, but he's an interesting dude, extremely talented. And yeah, so anyways, he's like, yeah, I don't want anything, just give me shares. So Zuck gave this guy a bunch of shares when they first opened, and it turned out to be like $300 million or something.
There you go.
For guys who know who I'm talking about.
David Cho?
Yeah, David Cho.
There you go.
Yeah, Cho. Yeah, I mean,
nice.
interesting guy, man. Interesting guy.
That's what people like. The people who invested early in Facebook, they're just like, oh, you just had to show up and then you became a billionaire. That's what everyone harps on Chamath about, right? Like, yo, you're not, you're a Facebook billionaire. You just showed up, right? With like the college.
Nice.
I personally don't feel that way, but
please tell me where the next show up is, and I'll be sure to be there.
Well said.
You know what I mean?
I'll show up, bro. I'll show up.
Could it be Anthropic or ChatGPT? I'm showing up regardless.
You see this over here? Hold on, let me show you. I'm going to show everybody as well. Just give me a second. No, I gotta log in over here. You see this, Joey?
What's that?
There it is.
Hey.
Cristiano Ronaldo with Arvan. Yeah, thank you, Assassino. Always have to do it. There he is. There he is with the GOAT.
CR7.
Yeah, CR7 with I think his name is Arvan. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I forget the Perplexity guy's name, but he's a solid guy. Very interesting to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been on a lot of pods. All right, here's the deal. Let's go through the trades. Devs is coming back down, man. DEVS, what do we got on DEVS? We have 59s, and now it's back at 59s. And we have shares here, so we're back at the 10 EMA. Let's see if this one holds up. I'll defend this into the $0.50. Nothing changes on my plan. I'm looking for higher highs and higher lows. I'm still getting it, okay? That's number one. Charge point, knocking the door of 11. We took some off there. Not a bad trade so far. We have 88s. The best print we have is 99s on charge point, which is actually the high of the day. Separately, DBRG still holding the 10 EMA, and now we've kind of resumed trend right back into that level at the $0.75, so we'll wet the beak there. YYAI, we didn't get that dip trade, but we're into the almost back into the highs. We're showing 46s. The high of the day is 47. We haven't wet the beak at all on YYAI. Let's go ahead and do that right now, Joey. There is 47, and there is another high of day touch. Can we see a new high of day? I'm posting. What did I just do?
What did you
Oh, I added into it like an idiot, but I only added one entry. Okay, so we'll just take it out right there. We'll put 49, and then we'll go ahead and post at 52 as well. So looking for a break of the $0.50 here on YYAI. Good strength on this one, but not breaking through that 47. There's 47 again. Sellers pegged 47 here as a level where he wants to get out, or the shorts are pegging it as well, because look at the amount of chop and churn taking place on the time and sales, but the level 2's not moving. There it is, Joey, 48s now we're seeing on YYAI. There's 50, Joey, right up into the $0.50. Can we get a breach of 50? The answer is no, at least for the moment. I'm posted at 52 here on YYAI. Let's see if we get another attempt at that $0.50. We're up 41, almost 42%. No, aggressive selling coming in. This is trouble. Topping tail candle. Look for a breach of $1.35. If it breaches $1.35, this could be trouble on YYAI as the shorts look now to take this one back down into wherever it's coming from. There it is, into 37s. If it holds up at the 10 EMA, I'm going to add into this one, but it's not quite at the 10 EMA yet. Show them what you're looking at, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Akayamomo. Oh, sorry. I butchered it, Sharif. I think it's Japanese, though, to be honest with you.
Yakamoto?
No, it's
Yamamoto?
Akua Yamamo. So I think that might be Japanese. Anyways, aside from that, guys, there goes SMR continuing to the top side. Man, I would have liked to take partake in this one, but we're not in it, so we're just going to be patient, wait for some other opportunities. A beautiful rebound in which we're experiencing right now, heading right back to VWAP. Tesla right back to VWAP. The SPY is not quite there yet, but we're getting pretty close, guys. Meta is definitely the trade. Indecision prints at the lows through some key necklines on SMR and on TSLA. Super chat, hit me with the super chat there, Assassino. All right, what are your 2 picks for S&P inclusion today? After hours, I pick SOFI and maybe RGTI. All right, that's a good. What are your 2 picks for the inclusion on the S&P?
I wasn't even, sorry, I'm in so many trades, so I've had to concentrate, but
totally fine.
Yeah, what's up?
Totally fine. No,
what are your 2 picks for the S&P inclusion today after hours? I have no idea, but I haven't given it some thought, so I'm not going to just spit out anything and then mislead, so I have no idea, brother.
Exactly. Your favorite IBIT showing, so I'm not even looking at it right now. If it's rebound, then congratulations to that. It is starting to get somewhat of a bounce. We took our 1 stab on it, ruined the old streak there, so we'll avoid this one. But a nice inverted hammer candle right there, bouncing off the lows, holding through that that open of that specific, or the close of that specific candle, and now starting to climb a little bit higher, coming back in here as well. I'd rather put my money where Meta is, because this thing will look like it's on a mission. Look what the market's doing. We're heading over there now up to 673 towards the high of the day. 6.7. At this point, I think we're going to breach that high of the day and climb higher in META. Other than that, guys, I'm sitting on my hands, being patient, waiting for this pullback in SMR. If it does break through that 2171 level, then I'm going to get out of Dodge. Keeping our eyes on the tape as well, because that's going to tell us World Street.
Yeah, Fabian coming up with like a theory as to why it's 6.7, and nobody really knows what. It's in. You got to be in the know joke. Okay, I got it, Fabian. I see. Well, exactly. Well, he's saying you need an audience for it to make sense. If you're doing it alone, what the hell is the point? I mean, I agree. I can't understand why people like it so much. I like it, man. I'm not going to hate on it.
It's literally everywhere.
It's everywhere,
I heard it on the radio this morning. Like, this one lady was talking, like, my daughter always says 6.7, 6.7. So, I mean, it's all like, hey, all the power to them, man. The fads start. We had them as kids, whether we like it or not. As we get a little bit older, then it's each their own, man. The kids are going to continue to see that. Meta, now towards the high of the day. This is going to be a Facebook party today. What's up? I don't know, man. You could put something in the chat if you want, Ramin. You just don't have to go pure dots all the time. You could say something. So yeah. Other than that, I'm patient. Does Tesla want to continue its rebound, or is it going to start to reject the volume-weighted average price and start to come back in and give us this second opportunity for a short? And we have Facebook now rejecting that previous pivot high. Ask me who has Meta 800 calls for next year. Who has it, Ozan? Let me know, please and thank you. I need to be informed, because if it isn't you, then I have no idea, but I'm going to put my bottom dollar on it that it is you. Okay, Ramin says SOFI.
What's your problem, Ram? Why are you littering the chat, man?
Yeah, please don't spam. You're
going to get blocked.
Yeah, the only person who's allowed to spam in the chat is NPR.
Oh, it's the Chilean nightmare.
Oh,
okay.
The only guy allowed to spam.
He's the only one allowed.
NPR. Oh, that's his name, NPR. Mike P. Or I guess DR, MPDR.
Okay.
Mike P. D-Rat.
Guys, I'm keeping a close eye here on, Dev's just absolutely pooped the bed. So we got stopped at a DEVS. And we had the most amount of shares in this one, so that doesn't feel good, but whatever. We did de-risk a little bit over here on DEVS, but I'm looking for continuation on this one. DBRG continuing to kind of put in that curling effect. I do like the fact that the buyers are picking this up predictably off the 10 EMA on the 5. If it holds trend, I'm going to continue to add into this one. We've got several adds so far, so we do have a good amount of shares into this one, but definitely need to keep an eye on trend. Separately, YYAI has a monster topping tail candle at 1150. This current candle, 1155, has a lower high and a lower low, but it is finding aggressive buying right off that 10 EMA VWAP area, which are like our penny apart. So I'm trying to keep my eye on this one because I don't want to get caught on a flush down. But it's aggressive buying and selling both ways. And you can clearly see the shorts are setting up here at 40s. Sometimes the longs, will breach that 40 penny level into 41, but you're not getting much in the continuation at all on YYAI, at least for the moment. So we'll pack our patience on that one. What else we got? SMX still putting in a downtrend, guys. It is now below $400, even though this one did pop up almost back into 450. When you look at the trend, it's still lower highs. And if we breach that, I want to say 360 area, that'll be another lower low on SMX. So be careful with that one if you're trying to size in, especially. CHPT still hanging out near the day's high. Not too bad, but it is starting to find resistance at 11. I did expect that. So if it does come down into my 88s, I'm going to flatten out, and then I'll set up at a bit of a better area. I do like that 1060 to 1050 for a possible long, but I'm not going to DCA into there. I'll just get out and then get back in. The real Gary F. Sharif, Joe. BAM, again today, it loves the new Canadian carny economy. BAM, what is BAM? I don't even know what that is.
BAM.
Brookfield, oh yeah, you guys told me about that. Brookfield's having a great day, 1.75%. We do know that Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with President Donald Trump today in the White House for the FIFA draw. We don't even know what the groups are yet, so that's taking place at the White House. Of course, they will be talking. Claudia Sheinbaum as well will be there. I don't believe they're all meeting together. They're going to be meeting separately, but you got to assume, based on what President Trump said the last few days, that he's basically looking at either pulling out or changing the terms of the USMCA. And this is what I've been saying for a long time, guys. You guys think the tariffs are hurting us now? The tariffs that are on us now are only accounting for 10% of exports. 90% of the exports between the two countries are covered under the USMCA. So I hate to put it this way, but the worst could be yet to come for this country. I hate to put it like that, but that is the truth, because 90% of the imports and exports between the two countries are covered by that agreement. So if there's going to be a problem, it's going to be from that. All right, YYAI taking out some levels here at 42. It's still holding above the 10 EMA, so I want to see a nice little move into that $0.50. I've layered the orders. I should probably layer a little bit more here on YYAA because we've got shares on this one. Let's go ahead and post a little bit at 47s. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to Adara.
Here's a look at this market. It's been quite the day. We rally up pretty much all morning heading into 10 a.m. and then we have a pretty significant pullback. We don't pull back all the way to day's low. Right now, kind of chopping around a bit. Let's see what direction this market ends up choosing. Now, it's worth noting we've got a ton of economic data today, including the long-awaited data for PCE, that is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge for the month of September. That came out exactly in line with estimates. Personal income and personal spending also more or less in line with what we were expecting for the month of September, though personal income actually slightly above expectations. Now, we also have to talk about the University of Michigan consumer sentiment print. That came out at 10 a.m. And that was actually better than expected across the board. We had higher than expected sentiment and then actually also lower than expected inflation expectations. So good mix there. Let's talk about some of these earnings. We had a ton after the bell, including DocuSign. You can find these earnings recaps, of course, on X at TTV Research. But DocuSign here, kind of mixed report, but nice segment growth across the board. We have to talk about crypto as well. Here's MSTR. But you could look at really any crypto ticker or Bitcoin and IBIT. Long story short, there is a lot of weakness in Bitcoin today, actually at its lows back below that 89,000 level. Let's see how Bitcoin fares as we send you back to Sharif and Joe.
What do you got, Joey?
Yeah, I'm looking at Apple here. Apper. That's what tell me my boy say it.
I took that from you, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Apper. Yeah, that's what we always say. Palantir. But yeah, other than that, man, some good stuff. Yeah, OB, I like that short up there. That was a really good play. Coming south of the volume weighted average price too, give you 5 points off of that high pretty much. So not too bad of a look. I'm going to be looking for a short here on the TQs as Apple's continuing to bleed. A nice indecision print right at the volume weighted average price. So it's just the name of the game. Be patient, wait for those pullbacks, don't chase it. If we hold these levels, then I'm going to be looking to engage. That way my risk profile is extremely tight. At the breach of this previous wick high, we get out of that and then we look for something else to trade if it doesn't want to work for us. But with Apple leading its way to the downside, then by all means we can get rocking and rolling. How are we looking at a daily on here? Okay, so we're starting to come in a little bit. I mean, we just put in that previous all-time high of around 288, now down 3 to 3.5% roughly. So nothing horrible, healthy pullback. This is what we want to see, especially with names that have been on big time runs. We just want to continuously look for those dip buys, I think, and that's been the narrative of this market, guys. We've seen it in the likes of a couple of the names. So that's just the game plan that I'm going to be sticking with until proven otherwise. Once this market cools down and then we actually have an extended period of time where we're actually down 20%, then it's like, ooh, cool out a little bit. One thing that I haven't done in a little while, though.
What have you done, Joey? Oh no,
no.
Algo. We haven't talked
about, man. Yeah, everything's going good, man. Can't complain. I want to take a look at some of the names here. Let's see if this worked for us yesterday. I didn't even gander. I was looking at some other things. I'm working on some other things at home as well too. I was talking to Fabian about some constructing avatars. So yeah, and he's like, yeah, this is pretty complex. Apparently Nano Banana. So the one thing that's really difficult about constructing these things is an avatar, like an AI avatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's really difficult about the construction of these...
Can I understand why you want to do that?
Just to see what it's like, because there's this one. Have you heard of that? There's this one individual on Instagram. It's literally AI. Has like 400,000 followers.
Oh yeah, and there's someone like that made the top.
It's like
20
the best
charts or something like that.
Yeah, something like singer and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. If this is how we're moving, then why not learn a little bit about it? But one thing that's really difficult about it is the consistency in creating these AI avatars. So when you implement, so essentially what you have to do is you have to take videos from the internet and plug in your avatar, and it just reconstructs it with their facial features and everything along those lines. But the consistency is really difficult to maintain. But one thing that I heard is it's new and it's really working well is Nano Banana.
Nano Banana.
With the consistency. So what I did is I got it to construct me like a fake individual, and then I just kept typing in different prompts, like them doing this, them doing that, and it was pretty consistent through like a duration of probably about 5 different prompts, and then it slowly started to change.
Yeah. But you were complaining about Nano Banana as well for the upgrades and downgrades.
Yeah, it does that all the
time. And that's predictive. That's the problem about being a predictive model, right?
Yeah.
Is you're not always going to get the exact same result.
But that's why that one on Instagram is so successful, is because whoever created this thing built that consistency within. And it's like there's a bunch of different individuals watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it saying like, hey, they might have used these features, in like a bunch of different ways.
Okay, so there's a theory as to what's going on there.
Of how they kept the consistency.
I like that. Very likely that's a local system, he's saying. Fabian's in our ear. Not like the big. So like a small language model, Fabian? Stable Diffusion is a popular one. Midjourney is another one there, he's saying. He's speaking in our ear. People can create models. That's what my understanding was, right? People can create models that are already trained, and that's how people use it, is what he said there. Yeah, so interesting stuff, man. You got to learn. You got to keep apprised of all this stuff. We're not allowed to say what he just said now, Joey, but...
That's the whole idea behind it, you know what I mean?
SMX is halted to the downside again. It is losing the bid here, guys. It is a plethora of lower highs. Have we got the lower low? Yes, the answer to that is yes. I'm looking at that candle right here, the 1125 candle on the 5-minute chart. Are we below that candle? Let me double check on mine. The low of that 5-minute candle was 353.43. We are halted at 351.60. We have now several lower highs, several lower lows. Ironically, though, we're still above that volume-weighted average price, which is hanging out, I believe, at 332. So we're not quite there yet. It's insane when you're talking about we're halted at 331, 351, but you've got to wait all the way to 332 to get that dip trade if you are going to get a dip trade off the volume-weighted average price. We're talking about, almost $20, but it doesn't look obviously like it's $20 there. All right, let's update you on some stuff. I stopped out break even on YYAI. So this one did lose trend. It's below all my levels, and that gets me out of the trade, and it may momentarily lose its spot on the side chart as it is trading now below VWAP and the 10 EMA. I'm still holding, in fact, I'm adding into DBRG because, look, it's not rocketing up, but it's holding trend of higher lows and higher highs. It feels like there is a possible buy program, keeping an eye on that 10 EMA. So I did get a little bit more into that one. Charge point, though. This one looks like it's going to be a 20 EMA dip trade, if that. So here are my levels on ChargePoint. That 1070 is interesting, and the also 1050 is interesting. 1070 being that 20 EMA on the 5, which sometimes is where the deeper retracements go into. And then that 1050 is the breakout area from that initial bull flag, right? So you had that initial pop at 9:30, you consolidate up until about 10:35, so almost an hour, no, less than an hour, 9:50 to 10:35 of consolidation, then you get the breakout and the move back up. So it just did dip right now into 75s, looking to get bought back up. I didn't get any there, to be quite honest with you. I didn't have any resting orders. So if it does dip in, we're going to keep an eye out on this one, but I do like ChargePoint possibly running into 11 bucks, if not a little bit more. Anything else going on here? Someone's told me TGL. Joey, are you able to load up TGL on TWS? Because it's not loading up for me here, man. Is it loading up?
Oh yeah, we got it.
What the hell?
Global, yeah, with the
all right.
okay. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
there it is.
Let me load it up. We're gonna load it up on here, Joey.
Pull it up there, my boy.
Pull up. What the hell is this?
Leontay.
Joe, you see TGL on my scanner up there? This thing's up 160%. Don't you think it should be showing up there, Joe?
What's really?
I have no idea why TGL is not showing up on my scanner. I didn't even know about this thing, and it's done plenty of volume, up 160%. It's done 4.3 million shares. It's a multiple halter. We're going to have to pause for a second and send it to the big desk, but we're going to be talking about TGL once you get back.
Broadcom and Microsoft here. Here's AVGO information reporting that Microsoft is in talks to design future chips with Broadcom. So keep an eye on MSFT and AVGO. Again, MSFT reportedly in talks to design future chips with Broadcom, according to the information. Broadcom actually reports earnings next week, guys.
I can't get any information on this thing.
No info.
All right, Case, I like Toro, but it's below VWAP. Let's just look at Toro super quick for KC526. Great call out there, Case, because it's looking like awfully bull flag-ish. Let's flip to the 5. This is what Casey's talking about. This is TORO. Look, it popped off right at 905, actually, not 930. High a day there looks to be 5 high 70s, 578, 579. It did lose VWAP, but it's right back at the volume weighted average price right now at 5 1/3. I'd love for this to get above 5 1/2 though, Case, because keep your eye on that initial top end of the bull flag. This is bull flag number 1. We didn't get bull flag number 2, and there it goes. It is now above the volume weighted average price. Good call out on that, Case. We're going to keep an eye out on this one. I'd like for it to get above 5 1/2 though, because that is the top end of the bull flag consolidation. So if we can get above that $0.50 and put the short or the resistance behind us, I'd be feeling a little bit more comfortable on this one. But TGL and Toro, new entrants, Joey, on the side charts. What do you got?
Absolutely beautiful stuff, guys. We're going to take a little bit off there on the TQs as it starts to take a little bit of a dive there, guys. Keeping our eyes on the Mag 7 to see what they're up to. Beautiful bottoming signals on Apple, but it doesn't look like they want to hold up. And we have NVDA starting to head towards a key neckline as well too. So your short TSLL, nice grab off of those the volume weighted average price rejection. One thing that drives me nuts sometimes about the TQs, and I'll tell you guys this for free, obviously personal issues, is that, like, look, boom, you tank, and then it's just the breadths in these things are just so wide, and it's like, okay, yeah, you get the move that you're looking for, it wicks the levels, and then immediately just bought right back up. So, and I think it's being led by the likes of NVDA, as you can see here, guys, heads right towards that 180, 187 level, and then, it's just like, no, support level, algos turn on, buy it, and then sure enough, Apple, nice indecision print. So I'm going to be patient, wait for this thing to slowly start to turn around, and if it does, I think we can get a nice little pop into some prior, this would be resistance zone around 278, so not too bad. Or we tank, we're heading right back towards the lows here on the TQQQs, guys. This is going to be your 3x daily leverage. Yes, that's correct. Over there, so 56.10s, nice pop down into 55.95. I'm going to be holding this for a potential breach of the low of the day because we got Netflix still tanking. Oh no! Good thing I only bought a little bit of that thing because we're now south of that $100 mark once again. 99.69s on NFLX. We just need a little bit of selling to step into the king of the chips, and that's going to be NVDA. See what we got going on that front. IBIT. Curling over once again. What's Microsoft up to, Sharif?
Hold on.
What are you up to?
I'm about to get into a halt here.
Okay, okay, nice. Hopefully it's in your favor.
It's up TGL. It's going to up halt, guys. We $1, boy. We $1 in Z money. What happened to the position board? Just when you need the position board to work, Joe.
Dollar boy.
All right, sorry to interrupt, Joey. All right, Assassino, I'm not sure what's going on with the position board, but we are... Oh, no problem. Not a problem. No worries, man. Okay, guys, we're long. TGL 1940. Joey, we're halted. $20.34 to the upside. Good breakout here on TGL, and good on you guys for pointing this one out to me. It's not on my scanner. I can't even look. Look what's showing me on my side chart over here, where I do all my analysis. It's a chasm, Joey. It's a black hole.
Oh no.
There's nothing showing up on the TGL chart on my platform. It just shows me that it's up 200%, but it refuses to show me the price action. But I can look at my work charts over here on P8. TG freaking L. Now we're showing the tap at 21, Joey. Oh no. So keep your eye out on this one. Good breakout here on TGL, up 201%. Separately, oh, are you kidding me, bro? We didn't get that ad on ChargePoint. I hate you. Let's keep an eye out on that. I want to take out, though, YYAI off the charts, and we're going to put in Toro, because Toro case is getting into that 5.5 case. Good call out by you. And here we go, Joey, 556. We're up above the $0.50 now. Can we hold the $0.50 though? This is the level that we wanted for the break, but is it going to hold the $0.50? Are there buyers now that we're above the $0.50 at said $0.50? Where is the volume weighted average price? 536. This one feels like it could lure me in and get me into some trouble, man. But it's holding up here, Joey. We're going to get in. We're going to get in. What is that? Why did it? Oh, look at the breakout here. The breakout is on. What keeps happening? Why does it keep saying that I'm trying to short it? I'm not really sure what's going on here. Okay, there we go. We get the entry on Toro at 59. This is not a good entry, guys. I'm just going to be full disclosure. So we're going to keep a tight stop on this one in case it does lose the bid. But there we go. It's showing now mid-60s. Let's post here at 67. Let's post in the low 70s as well. What is happening? Joe, take over for a sec.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble with the...
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, man, that's what I was just like, oh my God, because I was about to... Like, I wanted to do something, and I'm like, man, why am I catching a fill here? I posted up at 97s, and then sure enough, it's like I'm watching the bid continuously hit it, and price even went to 96, and I didn't catch the fill. So I'm like, what is going on here? But aside from that, guys, Meta, new high of the day. I told you at that pace, we're going to probably go in and breach it. You can see nice, strong price action. You punch through it. You do establish a new one on the intraday session. Now starting to come back in once. Yeah, let's go. Let's rock and roll here on the shorts. Guys, why am I short on the Qs here? It's this simple. We look at these things all the time, just indecision print right at the volume weighted average price. Gorev is on vacation, actually, so he won't be joining us until next Monday, I believe. Jag has been absent. Lost Polio's going on vacation as well, too. So those guys who are absolutely phenomenal at finding these prints. Boom, indecision, gravestone, doji, shooting star, whatever you would like to call it, right at the volume weighted average price. We get in at the break of that candle, and now we're starting to sell a little bit more, down to 624 was that low, 24s. I was trying to.
Would you ride on 24s?
Would I?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In the city?
Yeah. Swerving,
having
brother,
ridden on 22s.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you, bro.
Right,
you feel everything.
Right.
And look, Joey.
Low profiles.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The low profile tires you up.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen. Let me tell you something. I have a little experience with potholes in roads.
You got experience.
Yeah. It's the Jamaican roads. I'm telling you, like to avoid these things aren't potholes. They're borderline craters. Right? They're huge. Boy. And you know what's the worst about them, Sharif?
Yes,
is that when they fill up with water, you have no idea how deep that thing is.
You can't. You can't see
you
it.
have
It's
no
a chasm,
idea. And
Joey.
it's like, boom. So listen, I've had my experience. When I was a teenager, I was driving my dad's car, smoked a rock. It wasn't even a pothole. I just smoked a rock on the side. I had to change that tire. But for all my fellow yachties and people who drive in the Caribbean as well, you know how you have to swerve around those things, and you're just in the other lane, going around them, having a blast while you're driving. It's actually a lot of fun, but then when you hit something relatively hard, it's not so much fun, so just keep an eye out on that. But TQs, guys, come on, let's break that 55.95 level. We're looking for another leg lower. If Apple bleeds and we get this breakdown in NVDA, I'm sure enough that we are going to get move that we are looking for. Microsoft slowly starting to climb higher as well too. Haven't seen what Amazon was up to. Let's pull up what.
Oh, TGL's open.
Go ahead.
Bro, I hit the flatten button. Why is it not taking it? Oh, come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, man, you got it.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't get the high, man. I wanted 22s.
What'd you
We
get?
just finished with 21s.
Oh, come on. Yeah,
No, man, that's a dollar difference, bro.
okay,
Like,
yeah,
that is a big
yeah.
difference. That's very annoying. And I, like, the flatten key
Oh,
didn't.
$21 opposed to 22. Oh, I thought you were talking about cents.
Joey,
Yeah,
and now it's
cents.
tanking.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm happy I got it. It's going to hold down, guys. Here we go. TGL going to hold down. That's why I got out. Ah, man, that was frustrating. I tried to get 22s there, and it was not giving it to me. Flatten button didn't work for whatever reason, but there it is. Halt is coming at 9:15. So 9:15, guys, the halt, 12, 19, 23. That is where we halted. Sorry to interrupt you, Joey.
No,
You're
you're not
on a
interrupting
story
me
there,
at
bro.
all, man. We've got to take care of those halts. I'm going to post up at 93s to see if we can catch a fill on this bad boy over here. Just bouncing off of support levels like it's some form of a trampoline or something like that. And I used to love the old trampoline. So we'll post up right there to see if we can catch a fill, guys. If NVDA does break this 181.94 level, then we are going to be cash money. SMR still selling. Apple not holding up on those lows. It's Microsoft that's catching that bounce right now, helping drag the TQQQs up. Excuse me. So if there's anything specific that you guys want to look at, just feel free to tag me in the chat. We'll go over some things. We haven't looked at the options chain today. Let's see what we got cooking up in that neck of the woods, in the overall market, and in Netflix. I was talking about the Netflix 105 level. Yeah, go ahead, man. I was talking about the Netflix 105 level. Definitely came into play. 13,800 contracts right there. You can see how that's the highest level of concentration. And I mean, guys, and I mentioned this earlier, and I'll be sure to note it more in the morning. Just because I bring you guys the calls in the morning show doesn't mean go long. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm displaying you guys is key supply zones, right? And if we can look at them in certain ways, yeah, you have the magnet effect in it, and then also you have the repellent as well. So once it starts to flip the switch, then sure enough, keep an eye out for those shorts. That 105 level, 100% coming into play, giving you down to the roughly around 99 bucks there. And I think that's a buy. I'm going to grab a little bit more. IBIT my favorite. No, it's not right now. Listen, Neil was talking about this the other day, going down with the ship. No, I'm not about that business. Because you know why? These stocks won't show you any love whatsoever. So I'm cold-hearted. You can be my favorite one day, and you can be, I could care less how you're doing in life the next day. Essentially, that's just the cold nature of the market, and I think you have to have that kind of mindset if you do get too attached. And I don't like naming out certain like people who own certain names and stuff like that, but like let's not beat around the bush on some things. Like if you still have faith in GameStop and AMC squeezing once again, it's just like why? There's so many other good opportunities that you can get involved with and not have to stick to one specific name. I still like the space. I'm not throwing it out the window whatsoever. Don't get it twisted, but right now I don't like the space, and until it starts to prove otherwise, then I'm going to be looking at other names to trade. Like I was trading SMR yesterday, Meta's in play, and I think you have to have that ability to just kind of jump ship. I mean, when it comes down to life lessons, you obviously want to be loyal to certain things, obviously your family and your friends, but when it comes to the stock market, feel no way about jumping ship because you don't want to go down with the boat whatsoever. Yeah, Meta's cash money right now. Is it breaking out? And that's why this market won't break down. I mean, I was posted up, I watched it head to my level and then not give me the fill whatsoever. Yeah, new high of the day. This is what I was talking about earlier, man. I said on this pace, we're going to be heading higher and higher. I wish I took a couple opportunities. There were some good VWAP holds there in META. And then now we're not going to catch this fill here on TQs. Well, I shouldn't say we should. Go, boom, come on. You can do it. Look. We're posted at 93s. Bang. Let's go. There it is. Yeah, but let's see what you guys have to say about jumping ship, man. Let's see. IBIT January 16th. Calls, no, Mac Wilder. I could be wrong, though, right? You have to come up with your own thesis. Speaking of repellents, where is the vest? That's a great question. It is at home in the laundry now. You wear a couple times. Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this here. How many times do you wear the two different things? How many times do you wear a pair of pants before you put it in the washing machine? Once?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just take clothes.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter to me.
jeans,
Yeah,
once,
throw them
once. Okay, all right, all
I
right.
don't hang up clothes after I wear them. I just throw them right in the hamper.
Okay.
And I do my my wash Sunday morning.
Okay.
Right after
Sunday
church.
morning. Yeah, right after church.
And while usually after halftime on the Prem. When I'm watching the
halftime.
Prem,
Oh, okay,
usually,
yeah,
right?
halftime.
Usually.
That works out halftime. 10 times says baby hands. That's a little bit excessive. But yeah, I mean,
All right,
guys,
you're
put it in the
getting
chat.
blocked.
How
I don't
many
like you
times
in the
do
chat.
you wear your jeans before you put them in the wash? I'm gonna do this. It's very simple, man. Twice. Workout clothing, obviously significantly different, but there it goes. TQQ is working out for us, guys. 3 times, says Darwin. Jeans 3 times, 3 to 5 times. Some people are saying 10, which I think is a little absurd, but anyways, once, maybe twice. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, other than that, I'm a 2 guy, 8 to 10 times. Jesus Christ. All right, TQs, guys, starting to work out for us, but Meta, new HOD.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We're doing it freaking live here on Toro. We got back into this one at 43s with double the shares. So here we go. It bounced off the volume weighted average price multiple times. So this feels a little bullish to me here, man. 3 candles defending VWAP, and I think we got a good price, decent price. I added in a couple of times to increase this share size. So let's keep an eye out on Toro. DBRG coming back into that high 80s, low 90s area. We still have shares here, man, so we need to take some out. And I barely have anything posted. I had a bias that this one was going to clear that $13 area, but not quite. Assassino, let me know when, brother. Oh, we're ready. I'm sorry. I thought we were still waiting a little bit here. All right, guys, listen up. Trade the pool. For too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing, it kept so many traders on the sidelines, but thankfully that is all changing now because of Trade the Pool. They're transforming how traders access the markets. With their limited risk trading model, traders actually use funded capital and then trade the pool. Yeah, they absorb all the downside. It allows traders to focus on what truly matters, the discipline, the consistency, and of course the growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep up to 70% of the profits. There's no fear, there's no barriers, there's just only real opportunity. This is the revolution, I should say, of limited risk trading, and it's all powered, you guessed it, by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen to get 10% off your evaluation. We're gonna pause for a second, we're going to the big desk.
Keep an eye on Trump Media and Technology Group, DJT, making a big push here to the upside, though it's already kind of giving back some of the strength. Trump reportedly set to announce a new platform called Truth AI. If I get more details on this, I'll let you know. I've just seen headlines. Apparently he said this. I couldn't find this anywhere. But again, I'm seeing people circulate this idea that Trump's going to be revealing a new platform called Truth AI. Back to you.
All right, TGL, we're back into this one at 82s. Let's see if we can get a breach of 22. Here we are showing there's a seller at 80. If it loses 21, I flatten out. Simple as that. Let's see if it can hold the level. A lot of selling coming in here in the mid-50s. Right back up to 80s we go. Can we get a little bit more? Oh, no, we breached 22 bigly. Nice trade here. All right, some more. TGL going again. There we go. This is going to be my biggest winner on the day. What do we got on TGL, man? Oh, no. We took out the entire position. I suck. All right. Keep it down, Ram. All right, so we took over $1 there. It's gonna halt up again. There we go. This is good. 240%. TGL is really going here, guys. 240% is gonna halt at 23.04. 5.86 million shares traded on the day. We're gonna look to get back into this one, guys. What a move up here for TGL. That just erased some of the damage we had made, or that we some of the damage that happened on DEVS and TWWNP. So good trade on this one, but I made a bit of a mistake there, taking out too much shares too quickly. DBRG, I should say. This one coming back into the 10 EMA on the 5. I want to keep a close eye on this one, as well as, of course, Toro. Where's my Toro trade at? There we go. Right back into that volume weighted average price again. Let's see if we hold up off this level. We got 43s on Toro over here. Let's see if we can get some more in here at a key area of technical support. So now it averages in to 40s. Joey, you would have made so much fun of me if you were here, bro.
Oh,
we just took another trade on your friend TGL there,
yeah,
and I'll just do it myself.
Oh, no, what happened?
Yeah, I know I took everything out too
no.
quickly, accidentally, of course, but good trade nonetheless. Yes, get it, Case. Case dropping another 10 membies in the chat. Casey526 absolute all class. Casey, thank you so much for all the the memberships. If I just didn't have so many trades on, I'd show you exactly where to get the morning watch list now that you guys are able, now that you guys have premium memberships. So I just wanted to mention that. We'll get to that in a second, Joey, but I just need to take some profits over here on Toro as it's popping right back into the mid 40s. We did get an ad at the low 30s there. Let's go ahead and post some beak wetters for this one, as it does have a tendency to price spike up. So if that's going to be the case, definitely got to take off some there. Going to keep an eye out on that. Shout out to Casey, man. Always giving back. Always, you know, throwing. Paying it forward is kind of what I mean to say there. Shout out to KC526. Hey, yo, Lewis.
Hey, yo. What's up, yo?
10 big ones in that chat. Of course he's trolling me, bro. Of course he is. Sorry for the loss, Sharif. Dal ass.
Oh,
I've never seen that done before.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm clapping for that. I think I'm clapping because it's clever.
Yeah.
Dal ass Cowboys. Here's for a protein shake, Sharif, and Brewski for Joe. Got my dub with Meta. 180% on the calls. My man, we're going to spin the money for you. Shout out to Ayo Lewis. Thank you for trolling me, brother. I appreciate it. I love it. I like all the love there, man. It's a hard thing to be a Cowboys fan. That's just for sure. Joe.
It's even harder to be a Leaf fan, Sharif, I think. Well, probably equally as hard, man. Because you know why, though?
What's
because,
that?
like, Dallas is I don't know, I'm not going to say it's America's team, but it's kind of...
It is America's team.
It is America's team, right? So it's kind of the face of the NFL, if you want to call it. And it's the same with the Toronto Maple Leafs, face of the NHL, right? And these guys just absolutely are... it makes me want to throw... I throw up sometimes just watching these guys. Anyway, I'll never do that again. All right, sorry, Joe asking about TSDD. Brother, I'll show you the love any day of the week. Show
him the love, Joey.
Yeah, he's like, Joe, no love today? The reason you're not even tagging me, so you're lucky that I seen it, and you're not tagging the right individual. I don't know what YouTube's got going on here with the ads again. Get that back to our original usernames. Get it together. But TSDD.
Oh boy.
There we go, guys. We got stopped out break even here on the TQs. We take a couple it out, and then sure enough, it started to come back. I'm like, yeah, let's get out of this trade before it comes back to our break even. Lock in a little bit more, but it's starting to sell a little bit more. As for TSDD, running into liquidity issues right now. This is 2X. Oh, okay, sure. Tesla ETF. Interesting. Never seen this one. And then the 1 minute. No. Excuse me, if you're going. No. You remember that song? Okay, so but if you're going to want to go with a 2X leverage on Tesla, TSLL is a good one to go, and you can see the liquidity differences on both of those underlyings in which you showed me there. But Apple continuing to break through some lows, heading to 278.08, guys. So a tough look in Apple today, so the tech relatively weak. And then finally, we have NVDA starting towards some key necklines as well. So if this support level breaks at 181.69, maybe we see some more downside trajectory. But I mentioned the neckline of all. This is going to be a big one at 167. It is still quite a ways away, $13, but anything can happen. You get a couple point gap down and you breach through that, then I'm buying up a storm anything south of 165.
My man. TGL still halted, guys. 12:27:23 was the halt time, so 73, relax. 12:27:23 was the halt time, so the open time will be in about 2 seconds. There it is, open. Let's see what it does now. Does it drop down or does it clear 24, Joey? Right down into 23. 22 could be an interesting buy level there because that's one of the halt levels that we couldn't, that's one of the levels that we couldn't take out. Keep your eye on 22 for an area defend. And when I say 22, I mean generally the area. This one's not going to respect pennies, you know, obviously, given that it's moving dollars at a time. TGL really going here, 243%. It feels like the longs have sort of cycled in to TGL because SMX is halted again to the downside at 290.86. Here we go. Whoa, there's a new high a day. 24.34 high a day on TGL. 24.70 high a day. 25.26 incoming here on TGL. Great strength. Watch out, guys. Big move up. Limit up. Limit up is 25.66. 25.66 limit up. it looks like we're going to halt up here, packing the patience for a possible entry. I got a whole bunch of prints here on Toro, but we're going to pack the patience, see if we can get into that 5.5. We're going to Adair.
DJT is still really strong here. Look at this stock go. Of course, this is actually moving after Trump announced that they're soon going to be unveiling a new platform called Truth AI. The logo for Truth AI has been confirmed, and here it is. So Truth AI, new platform here. If and when I get more details, I will let you know. But here is the new Truth AI logo. Back to you.
That's crazy.
I don't even know.
Hey,
what
man,
we're talking about.
listen.
I don't really
just
care, to be honest with you. I got to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, if you, hey, man, hire me as a designer. I'll just plug it into Nano, and then maybe we'll see if we can get a little bit better of an image generation on that one. So, yeah, Casey, I got you covered. I'm gonna start doing that. It'll make things a lot more easier. You can just pull up the ticker instead of having to look up the specific name altogether. So, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I know it was mentioned before, so we'll definitely make that change up, not just for you, but for everybody else, so they can start to rethink, but mostly for you. All right, but there it is, guys. TQ starting to put in a new a 1 minute low around 55.89, and it looks like it wants to continue to bleed. I'm going to continuously look through some names. Let's head over to our scanner and see if we can find anything. Oh, no, why did it do that? Okay, that's all right. We'll figure it out later. It just popped out separately. Tesla not really leading the way, guys, from a volume standpoint. On today's session, as you can see, a lot of choppy price action. I wish I can go back to just previous Fridays and we can go over the past couple of months every Friday session to see how it's been trading. And I can tell you that a lot of them have been nice grind hires, nice rally days. But as for AAL, guys, ooh, off of the top, a lot of liquidity issues, just some barcoding action, but now the volume's starting to pick up here and you're starting to sell off of those highs, 1467 all the way down to 1448. Now IREN, not very good. MAR, what have you been up to? Still trading along the price of Bitcoin from a daily standpoint. Oh my God. Disastrous, 50% off of that previous pivot high. HPE, Hewlett Packard right here from a daily. We don't want that garbage. Ooh, strong session yesterday on HP. Oh, and again today. Wow, okay. Yesterday wasn't too good, guys. We've got some selling in the post market. And then sure enough, today, guys, boom, recovering all of that move, now starting to form a bull flag, and Bitcoin still selling. You did get a little bit of a bounce off of those lows, but I wouldn't be surprised if price starts to turn around once again.
All right, guys. Still holding some here on Toro. Flattened out my DBRG trade as it did lose trend. So if it gets back above, I want to say 13, we'll get involved with this one, but it's had so many attempts at 13 and it's failed all of them. Really what I'm trying to focus on is whether Toro's higher lows is going to help move it back above the 5 1/4 area. I've layered my orders into 5 1/4, 5 1/3, and the highest one currently that I've got is 540, but not rocketing up, sadly. So let's see what we get on this one. But it's got a lot of bottoming tail candles, so I do feel that there are buyers stepping in at this level. Charge point might get me into some trouble here, though. So let's look a little bit at charge point. It's coming back into the 20. It's had several attempts at the $11 area. The best it could do was $10.99 on the day. And that $10.99 has been touched a couple of times, actually. So see if we're able to get through it. Separately, there's another small cap gapper that's making its way onto the scene right now, ALMS. Good one over here. Let's take off some old ones, ALMS. This one's up 30 1/4%. It just got into the day high at 1085. Very strong, higher highs, higher lows. It looks generally like it is finding support at the 10 EMA. There is a bit of a resistance top. Obviously, every time you make another area high, you're basically selling off a little bit. So let's maybe wait for this one at 1060. Know if this is going to be the area high or not, but the 10 EMA on the 5 is 1058 or 1057, can't quite tell, but we can front run that by putting an order at that 1060. So ALMS looking like it's a new one over here and could get going. TGL still halted, 1233.32. So the earliest this one will be open is 1238.32. It is currently on my atomic clock, 12:37.56, so we have about 30 seconds or so before this one can possibly open. I'm keeping my eye on ALMS. We're just going to throw in an order on that one, but we're going to send you to the big desk for now.
Yeah, I was just going to let you guys know here, Trump was speaking at the FIFA World Cup draw. It looks like he just might have finished speaking, though, so that's a moot point. Either way, still keep an eye here on DJT. Again, They have been rocketing around here after Trump announced Truth AI and a fun new logo for the new platform. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. Sorry, I'm just working on a data. I got a dark pool wick here. That's kind of messing up my chart.
Take over?
Messing up my chart. No, that's all right. We can battle with this here, Shree. I'm going to take a potential long here on Apple, guys, off of those lows using 278 as my stop. It's 45 cents, a little bit more than which I want to risk, but that's okay. I was looking for a little bit tighter of an entry, so maybe we go half size on that. And if it does start to pull up and hold that 278 level, we add a little bit more. So right now we are long AAPL, and boom, a nice little move to the top side right there. This is going to be a key resistance zone that we need to break, and that's going to be that 278.50 level. And there it goes, starting to climb a little bit higher. Just gave me that dark pool wick once again. Oh my Lanta.
Oh my days.
Oh my days, mate. Yeah, other than that, man, no UFC last weekend. UFC this weekend, big title fights, 2 title fights, guys, this week. I'm looking forward to that. Some absolute dogs going to be in the ring, and I love watching these dogs go at it. We got Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan. This is going to be number 2, and then we got Alexander Pantoja versus the young buck and up-and-comer. Going to be, he's the young buck, Joshua Van, who has literally lightning in his hands, and he's just an absolute beast. So I'm going to be looking forward to watching those and having a lot of fun. And then you guys know I'm a big UFC fan, big fight fan, all in general. Boom, there it goes on AAPL, starting to climb a little bit higher. We would have liked a better entry. I'm not going to complain, though. We'll give this one 50 cents to the lows, but now we're starting to climb. I got to hold this for $1, so that's going to probably, maybe we can't even do that. We'll hold it for 79. Bang! All right, there we go. AAPL starting to cook up for the kid. A nice grab off of those lows once again here today, guys. We'll take 25% off right there on Apper.
Nice trade, Joey.
Thanks, brother.
TGL halted down, guys. Wowzers. The high of the day, 26.80. I was actually trying to chase this into 24, and I didn't use the right offset key. I was trying to get it into 24.5 when it opened up, because it did dip down and it tested the prior halt level around 23 bucks, rocketed up into the high of the day of 26.80. It is halted down now though, 22.71. But when you take a better look at it, even though it is halted down, it's never good. It's still putting in higher lows, man. So the trend is still intact here on TGL, so it feels. So I'm packing my patience on this one. I could have certainly other trades. It feels like, it's cycling through from SMX into TGL. The shorts are in control of SMX now. The longs, at least for the moment, are in control of TGL. So it really depends on what side of the coin you fall under. I happen to fall on the long side as opposed to the short side. That's by, choice. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, shorting these small cap gappers is a little bit, I would say, a little bit more risky, but a lot of people do it with very great success. So good on them. TGL halted again to the downside, 22.71, exactly at 12.40 on the dot. So we'll open up at 12.45 earliest on the dot. Charge point still holding up here. We got 87s on. It's showing me 87s. I didn't actually add into the area low, so we'll pack our patience on that one. ALMS I've done nothing on though. It's up 30%. It's holding trend, 1095 high, showing me 77s now on ALMS. I could get some certainly off that 10 EMA. It's got a topping tail candle that closed at 1235, and this candle at 1240 has a lower high as well as almost a lower low. 1060 is where I see the 10 EMA on the 5, and the 20s at 1039, 1040. So those are levels to keep your eye out on. Toro, I'm still holding, pardon me, a little bit on this one, looking for the reclaim of that 10.5. Here we go, show me 34s now. Let's see if we can price spike up through 40. I've layered the orders through the mid 40s, but nothing in the upper 40s. Let's go ahead and wait there, and then we'll wait with some more north of 50. Let's post at 53. It's got a bunch of higher lows, but it's always encountering resistance at that $0.50. So be on the lookout for that. Papacitos dropping 6.90, so 6.9 shekels. Guys, I made $120 off TGL, so thanks for the show, my man. That is big boy money. Good for you, my man. Shout out TGL, a good one, but it can flip the script on you super quick. So good on you for taking those profits. And make sure if you guys are trading TGL, you're trading it with the right plan, guys. Make sure you're using sound risk management skills. Oh, I'd love to get your take on SMX because this is one hell of a mean reversion trade. I'm sure you're looking at it. Are you looking at SMX?
Mic up, mic up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's got his mic, so I don't want to drag him into it. But I thought he might be looking at the SMX reversion because we are now 258.65 halted off that 490 high. So one of the aggressive mean reversion trade that I've seen in a while here, Joey. A lot of aggression. To the downside.
Oh, well, what's it doing right now, my boy?
It's halted 258.65.
And what was the high?
490 high.
Oh my days.
Money.
Yeah, that is cash money. We'll spin the money for that, man. One thing that we haven't hit enough today, I haven't hit my quota on this one there, Sharif. That's going to be. No. That's Stone Cold, my boy. Okay. Boom, boom. Yeah, no. Boom. Yo, hey, Mike P. I want to buy the conversion kit for my G17. You know which one I'm talking about? That thing is wicked. I wanted to grab it for quite some time, and I just never did. They're always sold out and really hard to find. Mike P knows what I'm talking about on that one. There goes Apple, guys. Nice move to the top side. Oh man, yeah, we're rocking and rolling these days, guys. Having a lot of fun with this stuff.
That song, that oldie, rocking and rolling, bop, bop, bop.
I feel that's the one where you do like the twist.
Hey, bop,
right? Like
bop,
you do but you just.
Remember they did the twist and it was so easy to dance.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Crap, bro. Like now it's like
nowadays you got to go to EDM and all that stuff and do all that stuff. I'm going to actually to a.
You're going to an EDM festival?
I am.
That's crazy.
In New Year's. Yeah, in Tulum.
No,
Zamna. Yeah, Zamna. I've never been to one, man. So yeah,
you're gonna have a great time. A lot of my buddies during COVID went there. They got the hell out of here because everything and their mother was shut down. There it wasn't, obviously. Yeah, so everybody was living down there, bro.
It's called Zamna.
Zamna.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun in Tulum. Man, I don't know if anybody's ever been to Tulum or anything. I just love the whole environment over there. But yeah, what a nice trade here on AAPL. Could have took a couple more shares, but that's okay as it's starting to rebound and we are rocking and rolling so far. Maybe we hold this one up to 279.50. We have one out left on this trade here as it's now climbing up to 279.05. But listen, let's not beat around the bush. There should be a significantly better risk to reward ratio. If I got in closer to that base, shout out to Little B, base card, to 277.98, then we would have a substantially better risk to reward ratio. But yeah, guys, let me know in the chat if any of you guys have ever been to Zamna, the music festival, because it goes all over the place. So I think that's going to be a world of fun. First thing for everything. But Apple working good. You're still negative 0.6%, starting to climb back towards the volume weighted average price, punching through that resistance zone that I was referring to earlier, that act as prior resistance or support. Sorry. This is what I'm referring to right there at that specific level. And yeah, whoever took that trade, I understand you said you're following me, you're mirroring me. Please don't do that from a day-to-day basis because not every situation is going to end up like this.
M-Sense, Charge Point, I had to take a call. What did Sharif say about Charge Point lately? Are we ever gonna get above 11 bucks? Help. If you're reading this. Look, brother, I'm holding it right now. It seems to have some buying in and around the 20 EMA. Every time it dips into that 75 penny area, it's being bought up. You're having trouble, though, clearing 11. So this is very consolidative. Whether or not you end up getting above the 11, time will tell, but just use sound risk management skills. I do like that 10.5 as well. So if it loses the bid, I'll stop out, but I'll be looking for that 10.5, either 10.5, 10.25, 10.5 because that's a breakout level from the initial bull flag. 10.25, that's where the volume weighted average price is. So that's what I'll be keeping my eye on there. Shout out to M-Sense. And Ichiro says that you're gonna have a great time at that place that you're going there, the EDM place in Tulum. No way, Kodak is running, KODK. Says Yannick. What? Kodak is running, guys. It's 2020 all over again. Be careful with this one, though. It can flip the script on you. It's up, I want to say 7%. Technically still a small cap gapper, $875 million market cap. KODK running. I am still holding some here. Oh, nice price spike up on Toro into 540. We got 23s on. I've got more shares on this one than I have on the other ones. Looking for that move into 50. We're not getting a move past 50 for a while now. Let's go ahead and post a little bit more north of that 50 penny area. We'll go high 50s. We'll even go 60s here, Joey, in case we really get going. But there's a seller of note here at 60. But KODK, let's load that one up. Which screen are we going to use? Yeah, SMX. Take off SMX. KODK on the NQ. No, NY. I knew that. 4 penny spread, not too bad. 1.45 million shares traded on the day. The high is $9.15. Add that to the side chart. $9.14, excuse me, is the high of the day. Why isn't it loading? There we go. On Kodak. Nice move, man, but we're getting extended away from some levels here. It looks like 885 is the 10 EMA. We'll have to see if it can hold 9 now that it's breached it. It had a candle of indecision at 9, which makes sense, right? Into that whole dollar area, people looking to take profits. But I'm not going to be quick to jump into Kodak here. I've been too quick to jump into a lot of these and they revert right back. So I don't want to get caught into this one and then give back some of the stuff that we made here on Toro. So that's what I'm focusing on, Joey. I'm focusing on ChargePoint, Toro. I'm still interested in ALMS. I've got it on a trading screen. Here we go. 1060 looks like an interesting buy area here. A lot of consolidation at 1060 before we got into that area high at 1095. So I'm going to go ahead and enter here. I'm going to be looking to defend that 1060 area. So right down into 1060 we go. Let's see if it holds up at that level, Joey, and then if it wants to make another attempt at 11.
Yeah, for sure, man, absolutely. So as for NVDA, guys, starting to get a bounce in the market definitely helped propel Apple a little bit higher as well, too. So coming into that 180, 156 level, just bounces right off of it. So we have multiple touches, 3 to be exact at that specific zone. Let's pull up our chain to see what we got going on here, guys. And as to why we were selling, one thing, actually, let me take a couple steps back here, and we're going to go over to Netflix, and we're going to see what we got going on from a high of the day yesterday. Okay, so yeah, it's a pre-market high. So look, oh my Lanta.
Oh my days.
Oh my days, man. Oh my Lanta, look at that, 105.02. Oh, who told us that level? It wasn't me, it was the options chain, right? I'm just relaying information that I find from you guys on the chain and bringing it to you guys. NFLX. Pardon me?
It's a chain's fault.
It's yeah, this is a good scenario, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, here it is on Netflix, guys. Once again, 105, running into that supply zone, and we're seeing this. Listen.
Yes, sir.
It's not rocket appliances, Sharif, as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys would like to say. I know it's rocket science, rocket appliances, right? He matches up.
No, my buddy used to say, is it rocket science? He was an immigrant, bro.
What did he say?
He's like, rocket science. He thought it was rocket science. He's like, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, why they say rocket science?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
it's
rocket science.
Rocket science. Yeah, there you go. It's not. Yeah. So here it is. Rocket appliances over here, guys. 13,800 contracts. That's grown a little bit here with the volume around 23,500 at that specific level. And we have multiple touches. I wish I can show you kind of like a picture-in-picture on this one. So there it is, 105.02. You come up into that level today, and that is going to be yesterday's pre-market high there, brother. So not too bad of a look whatsoever. Oh no!
What happened, Joey?
Oh yeah, there goes.
Get it, Joey.
AAPL.
Show 'em who's
we're
boss.
gonna hit this one right there. Show him whose boss is right, my friend. There's no question. But you know who's boss around these neck of the woods, Sharif?
Who?
This guy right here.
Oh.
JP.
Yeah, take him to the hole.
I'm not a hooper. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, nice move there in Apple, guys, as it's starting to climb higher. So that's what we got going on.
All right, man. We're back into 3 trades here. Let's get TGL halted down again. It's up 195%, but it's at that $20 area. In fact, it halted 1997, tap showing 1930. Halt time, 12:49.25. Add 5 minutes onto that. So earliest 12:54.25 will be open. But there goes freaking Toro. Yes, Joey, we sized in nicely here at that. Where'd we get it, man? We got 23s. It's showing me 50s now. Finally, Toro. Yeah, it just looked like it was ready to break. It just had so many bottoming tail candles. But don't fall in love with this one. As we've seen before, it has bottoming tail and topping tail candles, meaning that the sellers are equally as aggressive as the buyers at the extremes. So the extreme here to me was the 520 area, and then I think into the 5.5. I want to say 5 2/3 is where we're going to encounter a lot more resistance. Let's see if we can get through that 5.5 first and foremost, though. Secondly, here, Kodak continuing to go, guys. Kodak is going. And this has a tendency to run. I don't know what the short float is on this. I'm going to have to load this up. Oh, Canada's Group B. Canada's Group B, Joey.
Is that good?
We got Group B. I have no idea. Of course I'm watching.
We got the first. Why are we the first up there,
Because
man?
we're the host country, my boy.
But we don't get any of the good games, though, my boy. What's Donald doing
Mexico,
over here?
Group A.
Hey,
Joey,
Mexico.
Donald is the master of ceremonies.
Yeah. Sorry, why would I ever question that?
Carney picked the ball, and it was Carney picked his own country. It's rigged, Ram. It's rigged, Ram. All right, no. So Trump just pulled out. Let's see what he got. He got USA. What the hell is going on? Hold on. Why do everyone keep getting their own country? Look at Poch. Poch is obviously the coach of the USA team. He's all pumped. America is Group D. Man, this is very exciting. Shout out to Scheinbaum. She's there as well. Oh, Joey. Okay, so Mexico, Group A. Canada, Group B. USA, Group D. We don't have anybody yet. Everybody's yelling rigged. Look at everybody in the chat. They're all yelling rigged.
That's crazy.
This is fantastic. Guys, what we're watching is the World Cup draw. It is happening live right now. Prime Minister Carney, President Scheinbaum, President Trump, and I forget the FIFA guy's name. They're all on stage right now, and they're doing the draw for the World Cup. We're very pumped about that. At least I am, Joey.
Shreve,
I like soccer.
Listen,
yes,
the
sir.
World Cup hasn't even come to Toronto yet. I'm already livid what we got going on from a transportation
Joey,
standpoint.
you're going to hate your life for
brother.
a month,
I might,
brother.
You
might as well
I might
leave,
have to book
Joey.
the days off, man. Let me know what these are, and I just might just coop up in the house or go somewhere else, man. Get away from all the action, you know? But anyways, aside from that, what we got going on, well, hold on. Guys, if you haven't done this yet,
tell him, Joey.
You have the option to like and subscribe.
The
This
haircut.
have the
trade has
option.
unlimited
Look at
upside.
fantastic
Look at the
haircut,
on-
bro.
oh, man, look at
I like
that.
your hair right now, too, bro. It looks
Handsome
good.
fellow over there.
He's complimented himself. What the hell's going on?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You are a handsome fella,
Yeah,
but why do you
appreciate
gotta
that.
mention it? Like
Well, I
you're
didn't
gonna
know
wait
I
for
didn't
other
know- I
people
didn't
to
know who
mention it,
I didn't know
brother.
who it was at first. We can hit it again just so I can make sure.
I love this guy,
but no,
bro.
in all seriousness, guys,
Yes,
Apple continuing to climb higher. Another banger on today's session. So grabbing
boy,
this one
Joey.
off of the lows from 278.48 now climbing up to 279.40 somethings. But yeah, we're still holding on to our last little bit. Maybe we get the volume weighted average price. But we are running into a key support level. I think it's really important to note this level right here, guys, around 279.39. That's going to act as a potential resistance zone.
Resistance zone.
So what we're going to do, Sharif,
Yes, sir.
we're going to take our last out up
He's
here.
gonna take the
right?
last
Yeah,
one?
we're going to take the last out right there. Bang, as we're slowly starting to reject. If we get a pullback and the momentum continues to the top side, we get that reload. We'll hop in. We'll make it a secondary trade and take another opportunity.
Sounds good. I know it is 5-1, but I have like so many trades going on right now. Can flatten them out here, Joey, and then we
if
can
they're
do the
working,
news.
man.
But exactly, and I don't want to be monitoring these trades because they're all small caps and they're all can turn the flip. They can turn on you in a second and flip the script, and then I can find myself well out of the money. So I don't want to. We'll hold off. I think we can shorten the news segment a little bit today. What I'm really keeping my eye on is Toro, guys. It is an umpteen amount of higher lows, but I'm concerned that we did reject that $0.50 now, and we hadn't really rejected the $0.50 like that where we wicked in and then dropped back down. We're still showing 41s. I'm thinking about moving up my stop so that I can just lock in profits. I've got 23s. It's showing me 44s, but it's not clearing up above that level. It's very consolidative, very sideways. See how many shares we've got left here on Toro. Yeah, we can take out a little more here, Joe. Let's take out some more. Sharif, do you have an opening tap for SMX? 1 second. Check for you, brother. Take off NVTS, and I'll tell you what SMX is going to be. The top right now on SMX, oh, we're halted up. Yeah, we're halted up. It's substantially higher. The halt, 281.02. The top, 289.28. So we are slated to go back up here. And this 250 area, Joey, this is important. Have a look. This could be interesting. This could be interesting.
We need it. We don't got it.
You know, here's what I'm saying. This is the 945 area low. right into 225, and here's a bottoming tail candle followed by an up halt right into that 234 area. Now, I know 225 is not 234, but when you're moving hundreds of dollars in a day, they're very close. So this could be a hold-up level here. Watch out for SMX. If you guys are short, just watch out here. The top is already showing 289, so it's slated to open up about right here. So that's where the situation is right now on SMX. I hope everybody's trading this and trading it carefully, though. We're open, Joey. 297 coming into possibly 300 here on SMX. The spread is $7.34.74, man. Like, that is just crazy time. So SMX up 110%, up halt over, trying to take out 300 bucks. Keep your eye out on that one. There we go, right back into the high here on TORO. We're gonna keep an eye out on that one, and of course keep an eye on the World Cup draw, which is happening still right now. AML, there goes charge point into 11. We got, what do we got? 87s on charge point here, so we're gonna wet the beak because it's rejected 11 multiple times on the day, but that is a new high a day right now on charge point, up 29%. Let's find out what the short float is on this great stock.
Ooh. What is it?
We're gonna find out. Short float on CHPT. Go. Let's find out here, Joey. Presenting a concise. Okay, good job, Perplexity. Has mid-teens short interest. Okay. 13 to 15% of the public float. They're guesstimating 2.8 to 3.1 million shares. Is borrowed short. There goes SMX, Joseph. It rocketed up from $300 to $335. And in seconds, and as long as it took me to look at the short float on charge point, SMX still below the VWAP though, guys, or at VWAP, I should say, exactly at the volume weighted average price, and now it's finding resistance. So SMX rocketing up here. U.S. stock trader, SMX is strong, heading towards 516. What do you mean 516, brother? 516, you mean? Okay. U.S. stock trader again, A plus, 100%. Take it, my man. Look, it's going to halt up here. It looks like we're showing a halt parameter at 347. That will be the limit up. 347 is limit up currently on SMX. But there goes Toro, Joey. Yes, man, we're making money back on this one. TORO taking out a whole bunch of levels, but it's coming into that key area of resistance again. We got 23s on, it's showing me 56, and we had shares on this one. Let's see if we can get back up and make some more money on TORO. Charge point as well, coming into another area high. 1101 now, a new high a day on charge point. Be on the lookout for that. I still haven't done anything on Kodak, but I'm keeping my eye here on ALMS because now it's holding the 10, but it's not making any higher highs. So be careful with ALMS as well. What do you got, Joe?
All right, so I was just counting actually how many tickers I traded this morning, and it's 7. And one of them was a test trade on FBL. Take a small loss on that.
Kevin Hart's on stage now.
Pardon me?
Kevin Hart's on stage now.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, get this.
Yeah, yeah, he's at the.
All right.
This is a clown show. People are really rude in that chat, man.
Really mean. It's the heart over there. There's no
quite rude.
There's no moderators over there. We would listen.
Not in our chat. In the
FIFA.
Not
you guys are the best.
Draw chat. Yeah, our chat's the best.
Yeah, we the best. Undefeated. Yeah, my only loss today really is on IBIT. Of course, anyways, aside from that, guys, AAPL working on relatively well. If you guys were taking this trade, I know Baby Hands Donnie was taking it in the chat. He said that was working out, so hopefully you got to capitalize on this trade because we were in around 278.50, and then we get a piece out at the top here around 279.35. I think at the end of the day, the risk reward would have been drastically better if we got it in around 278.20s, and then boom, we just skyrocket to the top there. So not too bad whatsoever. We can run through a couple of the names right now. I know we do typically our trade review later on in the session near the ending, considering it is Friday, but we'll go through some things right now. FBL, that is going to be that next name. And again, just a test trade to make sure things were unlocked. Tried the short, get out of that one, and then sure enough, skyrockets higher. So that one's that. IBIT, the only loss of the day. Just going through it in order. We were looking for that potential long, stops us out, and now starting to grind back towards roughly our entry price right there. So that's why you don't want to hold on to things for too long. IONQ, that is going to be on the NY. This was a half-decent trade, guys. Nothing crazy. Off of those lows, you get a little bit. Stopped out, break even, no problem. As it continues to bleed, you can't stop that bleeding right there. And then NFLX was definitely the trade of the day, my friend. This was we had the most size on this trade, taking it from 99.40s all the way up to 101.81s, and then it went all the way up to 104. So that's starting to continuously look real good. TQs was our next trade as well. Talking about 7 names, guys. We're going to go through them all right now. We only have a couple more left. Short on the TQs, stopped out, break even. Oh, and look, it recovers. Yeah, we missed a little bit of the leg, but we're not going to complain about that whatsoever. And then our final one is going to be on TSLZ. It's funny how that's on the Amex. Let's see, can you pull it up? Don't do this to me.
Don't do it to him, man.
Don't do it, man. Yes. All right. Bang. Winner.
Gagnon.
Yeah, winner. Gagnon. We need that, man. Oh,
yo, it's 70.
Is it 70 schmil?
It's 70.
Did
I
you
might
buy
buy
one?
a ticket. No. When is the draw? Tonight, right?
I think
Isn't it Friday
I thought
night?
it's like Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's Friday night.
All right, cool, man.
I might buy a ticket.
Want to go
you want me
5?
Yeah, okay, fine. So
Okay, yeah, cool.
35 and 35.
$35?
I may or may not abscond. Like that your other boy there. You see the Asian guy that absconded, or the Filipino guy?
Yeah.
That he apparently signed with a group of 3 others.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he took
left,
it on his
eh?
own, and they paid him. They paid him. Now he's getting criminally charged with
By those guys.
No, the police.
Oh, by the
charge
police?
You, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
really? If you make a deal with somebody and they're like, hey, even though there's no documentation, good thing this is video recorded.
He lied on a sworn statement, an affidavit, right? So they said he had to sign saying that nobody else was with him on that. And so they paid him out the milli, and he took the milli and he booked it, and then they charged him, bro.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right, man. We're in
charge.
on that together. Whoever buys it, I'll give you the cash, e-transfer, whatever you want to do,
I'll buy
brother.
it
Let's rock and roll. So, yeah, 35-35 on that one.
35-35.
We win. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I still work. I don't want to sit at home.
I'm taking a break, I think.
No, I don't like sitting at home, bro.
But you can travel, though. You can, like, go and see the world. And,
I want to work,
like
bro. I want to work.
Where's the place that you haven't been in the world?
Lots of places, Joey.
Was that Asia? You want to do
I haven't been to
trip?
South America. I want to go to South America for sure. I want to go to Australia for sure.
Yeah.
Where else? I've been to Africa. I went to Safari. It was obviously Egypt. Africa
So you're telling me we have 35 sheets, and I
still work,
sent you this itinerary of this amazing trip in Asia.
I'd go on the trip, man. I'd go on the trip, but I still want to work.
You still work. Hey, we could do the show in Asia from there. We just bring our laptops and
take a break, bro.
take a little bit of a break.
No,
but in all seriousness, guys, a solid session. There is TSLZ. That's going to be the inverse ETF on Tesla, guys. As it was breaking down, we take the long on this one. So Tesla was short, and we have to hopped in that long, and that worked out really, really well for us.
All right, Joey, I'm quite happy with how Toro has treated me. We got the best profit taker on the day for me on Toro, 69, of course. And we've got one more here at 77s, but I'm going to let this one go. I'm either going to get stopped out on Toro, or we're going to take like a $6 print. So Toro up nicely, 35% on the day, but finding some resistance here. But I feel like it's cleared the $0.50. And US Trader actually is trying to convince me to get in. US Stock Trader is like, yo, add to the position, just add and hold Toro. I think he might have something here, man. 578 high. We're not far away from it. We're showing 58s right now. I'm going to keep my eye out on this one, but this one's going to haunt me here, Joe. I got out of this one, and look what it's doing. DBR frickin' G into the high of the day. I feel stupid for having sold this one. It didn't even break trend that badly, and it is squeezing now. DBRG is going into the area high, 13, 35, 36, 39 now. It's on the rampage to the high side, 37.5%. DBRG, I traded this one incorrectly, but you're never really going to get everything right all the time. We'll have to see where this one ends up finding resistance. I'm going to flatten out my charge point trade. That one is just not the one for me at the moment. We'll take a little bit of a hit on the last remaining amount, but we'll stay positive on that. ALMS, let me have a quick look at this one. Look, I like that 60 penny level. I like it as an area of support, but it keeps putting in lower highs. It's not finding good strength on this one, so I don't know how to feel about this one here at the moment. So back my patience, and good out there on charge point. Charge point is really dropping, so gonna keep an eye out on that. I think we're gonna start the news.
Fire it up.
107, man. So let's start the news right now.
Fire it up.
I'm going to look at Unlucky Guy 33. He wants me to look at On. So we'll have a look at quickly at On for him, and then we'll start up the news. So very consolidative, brother. Intraday, finding support at VWAP at around 55.60. The best print on the day is 56.12, but this is not a glowing endorsement for a long, at least, you know, from an intraday trade. On the daily, On Semiconductor, of course, this company is, right? Just make sure On is On Semi. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, this is not great. I got to tell you the truth. I don't like the breakdown of that $65 level. That was a very long area of support. It broke it, and now it's using 65 as resistance. So to me, the way that I get long here is a break and hold above 65 bucks. Until that happens, you're going to have upward resistance. And I wouldn't put too much stock, if any, into the moving averages here. As you can see, they're crossing all over each other, and that typically happens when you have consolidation. Moving averages are not good during consolidative times. So Unlucky Guy 33, I hope you get lucky, man. You know, in more ways.
His name
than
is
one.
Unlucky Guy?
Yeah, his name is Unlucky Guy 33. I feel bad, man. I want him to be lucky, Joey. Shout out to you, my man. All right, I'm going to flatten out all my trades here so we can just, because I don't want to be dealing with these while I'm in, we're doing the news, Joey. TGL is up halted again, guys, into 2154. It's up 218%. Be on the lookout for that one. That could offer some more upside momentum. So I flattened out all my trades. I've canceled all my orders, and it's time to start the news. Bring it in here, Joey. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. Of course, we're going to talk about the acquisition today by Netflix. Kind of I don't want to say it took me by surprise, but I had already reviewed this article from two different perspectives. One, Paramount Skydance sent a letter basically accusing Warner Brothers Discovery of favoring Netflix and not dealing in good faith. And then there was another article as well that Netflix had sweetened the deal. And by the time I was like on, 3/4 of the way through the morning note, we got word that Netflix actually had closed the deal. So I had to redo the entire review. So let's talk about this one. Warner Brothers Discovery. They're going to sell their film and TV studios, their HBO Max, as well as HBO for a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion. Netflix, for their part, they're going to pay $27.75 a share, and they intend to maintain Warner Brothers Discovery's current operations. The deal is expected to close 12 to 18 months after the planned spinoff of Warner Brothers Global Network Division, which is called Discovery Global, and the target is Q3 of 2026. So it'll be 12 to 18 months. Katina, man, I misspoke when I told you this morning. The closing is expected 12 to 18 months from Q3 of 2026. No, I'm just telling you, I know you don't have a mic. I'm not expecting you to talk, Katina. I just want to point out that I misspoke this morning. Shareholders of Warner Brothers Discovery are going to receive $23.25 in cash, and they're also going to get $4.50 in Netflix stock per WBD share that they have. So some of the things that are going to move to Netflix: Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, DC Universe. All the catalog there is moving over to the Flakes. This opens the door, I should say, for bundled streaming products like, bundling Netflix and HBO Max. Obviously, the aim there is to improve consumer value and to lock you into the system. WBD, Joey, entered the sale process in October due to financial strain and mounting debt obligations that the company was suffering from. And Paramount Skydance's division accused WBD of running an unfair bidding process favoring Netflix. Later on, Joey, CNBC reported that Warner Brothers Discovery actually received a $30 per share Skydance from Paramount Skydance, and they rejected it and chose instead to take the $27.75, which at first, on first take, kind of makes you feel that it wasn't just all about the money, that it was, what are they going to do with our operations, with our legacy, once they're gone, and they preferred Netflix, thinking maybe they had a better shot of.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Brandon mentioned it this morning, more strategic on that one. We'll send it over to Adair in just 1 second. I think this is going to be the largest acquisition between obviously some of these streaming giants, which is absolutely phenomenal. And just watch out for Netflix's numbers to continue to skyrocket. Now they have complete control of Game of Thrones, so they can do any form of spinoff that they like, and still using the Warner Brothers studios. So a lot going on, and they're just continuously building. I like what Netflix is going, and that's exactly why I bought some this morning at $101 at that front. Adair, what do you have for us?
About that deal. So, like, what I actually have to say here for the news has to do with my thoughts on Warner Brothers and Paramount, so I'll just kind of wrap it up all quickly. CNBC just reporting now, Paramount is now considering taking their offer right to Warner Brothers shareholders directly. Now, I am of the opinion, I was of the opinion before I heard this news story, I don't think this is a done deal, and I'll tell you why. So if you go back to the Metsera deal, Novo Nordisk versus Pfizer, two guys, duking it out. Novo Nordisk, the European company, Pfizer, the American company, where the CEO had a good relationship with US President Donald Trump. Now, I say all of this because Paramount has increasingly said to Warner Brothers, hey, we have a better relationship with regulators. We are in a much better position to get your deal through than Netflix would be. Netflix is also, it's a company with a lot of stature. We know already Elizabeth Warren, US Senator, has said this deal is an anti-monopoly nightmare, quote unquote. The point I'm trying to make is, especially if Paramount's now, with this new update, trying to take this offer straight to shareholders, I don't think Paramount is out of this fight yet. I don't think the situation's over. I'd be careful here. And given, again, with the Pfizer-Metsera thing, just to go back to why I think that's an interesting case of precedent, that ended up, even though Metsera said they preferred the Novo deal, Novo Nordisk ended up having to drop out because the regulators in the US said, we are not going to let this deal through, so Pfizer stepped in. So the point I'm trying to make here, to use this recent analogy, is that I honestly still think PSKY could have a shot at this, especially if they're pulling the regulation card.
Thank you very much. We've got Rio Ferdinand and Kevin Hart on the stage right now doing the draw. Let's go on to the next topic, though, Joey. Senators looking to block NVIDIA chip exports to China, and they're putting a timeline on that, 2.5 years. So a bipartisan Senate group introduced the Safe Chips Act, and their aim is to block the Trump administration from loosening AI chip exports for 2.5 years, but it's not where it ends. The bill will require the Commerce Department to deny any export license for advanced US AI chips to China, to Russia, to Iran, and North Korea. After the freeze, meaning after the 2.5 year period, the Commerce Department must notify Congress 30 days before any rule change, which kind of the aim of that is to limit any unilateral executive action. The sponsors of the bill say, look, restricting Beijing's access to cutting-edge American technology is vital to national security. This is a rare move where President Trump's own party is actively trying to constrain his trade and his tech policy decisions. Joey, we know from the back and forth that we've been seeing a lot lately between Jensen and some of the comments he's been making. His opinion is it's a strategic initiative to have the world rely on American tech rather than having the Chinese fill the void. And if they do, and we get them back. So what do you make of this whole thing?
No, I think that's a very valid point there, Sharif. And our good friend of the show, Kevin O'Leary, said the exact same thing. Essentially, I think it's in the best interest for them to allow the Chinese to buy whatever chip they want and make them reliant more or less on NVDA and the AMDs and all those American-made chips, because you don't want them to obviously start innovating on their own and then make something better, cheaper, and then sure enough, you have other Eastern countries who want to acquire more of the Chinese chips, not the American chips. So you're going from a strategic standpoint. I know there's a lot of players on both sides of the fences here. Again, I'm going to stand on the one where I think it's best that you sell it to them and allow NVDA and these other major corporations to thrive in China when we already know it's difficult enough to kind of get your foot established in that country.
Absolutely, Joey. Let's go on to the next story. What do we got? AMD. They finally get the license from the Commerce Department to ship the MI308. It was ironic because They didn't have the license all the while. NVIDIA had the license with the H20, but it didn't really matter. It was super moot because China didn't want to buy them anyway. And what I was saying on the Big Desk this morning is, what makes AMD think China's going to want to buy the MI308 if they want to buy the H20? Maybe just search while I'm reading this to see which is more powerful of a chip. Is it the H20 or the MI308? Because they're both China-specific variants. I'd love to know. So CEO Lisa Su stated AMD has an active U.S. license now allowing shipments, of the MI308 accelerator to China. The design is, of course, made to comply with U.S. current export restrictions. Lisa Su said AMD is prepared to pay up a 15% fee to the U.S. government on chip shipments to China under a deal with the Trump administration, which is outlined in August. Some legal experts argue that the actual fee that they pay for the shipment may be illegal, as it may violate the Constitution's ban on taxing exports, signaling, a potential future legal or legislative challenge. Of course, the aggrieved parties here would be NVIDIA and AMD, and they're the ones that have CETUS to bring the challenge, not anybody else, or unless they pay it. NVIDIA faces similar restrictions as we talked about, but far higher demand for its H-series chips. AMD's ability to ship these MI308 with a fee structurally narrows the competitive gap in China. And if the Safe Chips Act goes through, Joey, this arrangement could be temporary, pushing AMD to accelerate development of China-compliant AI accelerators. What did it say?
Yeah. So you wanted to know which one's more powerful?
Not the H200, the H20.
Okay, the H20.
Yeah, the H20, because that H200 is not even out.
So this might be hallucinating a little bit, because it's saying that it's somewhat of a competitive alternative to the H200. So we'll figure that out. H20. But no, I mean, as for that, Sharif, we know that a lot of the Chinese corporations already had their licensing agreement done so that they can acquire some of these chips from NVDA and AMD, but then things were off the table for quite some time. And sure enough, now we got AMD, got that licensing, so the MI308 definitely being shipped. What I was thinking here is, could it be potentially from a funding standpoint? So are these chips going to be relatively cheaper than buying some of the NVDA ones? And then that can be an alternative as well, too.
That's a good point.
Right? So,
if it's cheaper, certainly it could persuade. But at the end of the day, the Chinese regulator, I think, won't change their opinion whether it's $50 or $100 because it's
American made. And
exactly. And then they made accusations about, these things have cutoff switches. They can track what is being done, all stuff that we don't know if it's true or not. What we do know is that a lot of these Asia destined, I believe that it was the H100 at the time, the shipping containers were tracked to see exactly where, and the packaging as well also had trackers. I think that was reported by Reuters in the summer. Let's go on to the next story. Apple, 2 senior executives retire and Meta top lawyer joins Apple. So interesting here, they're switching people. So Apple announced the retirement of Kate Adams, who's general counsel at Apple, and as well as Lisa Jackson, who is VP of Environment Policy and Social Initiatives, 2 longtime senior executives reporting directly to CEO Tim Cook. Jennifer Newstead, though, she's Meta's chief legal officer, and she's going to join Apple as general counsel, replacing, of course, Kate Adams. Newstead brings a deep regulatory experience, having overseen Meta's global compliance issues across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and others as well. And the hiring of Newstead by Apple suggests Apple is preparing for continued regulatory pressure, given her experience navigating one of the most heavily regulated tech companies in the world, of course, that is Meta, because of the social media component. But here's the deal, Joe. So Lisa Jackson, who was VP of Environment Policy and Social Initiatives, she's leaving. And she was in charge of the environmental strategy, diversity programs, and she later spearheaded the Racial Equality and Justice Initiative. Could this be Apple silently removing the DEI department, as many corporations have done under President Trump? Thoughts?
Yeah, potentially, probably at the end of the day. I want to know what those retirement bonuses are looking like for the most part. But yeah, that's probably what it is at the end of the day, Sharif, because we know that Donald Trump did change that rule and said, yeah, we're going to probably scrap that one there.
Which one?
The DIA.
The DEI, yeah. Well, yeah, he was putting pressure on companies to do that. All right, let's go on to the next topic, Joey. Tesla launches a lower-priced Model 3 standard, of course, in Europe. We already got that in North America. They already had the standard Model Y. They didn't have the Model 3. So Tesla officially launched the lower-priced Model 3 standard. It's missing certain features that come in the base model across key European markets after first introducing it in the U.S. earlier in the fall. Some of the prices here: Germany, it's going to cost you basically 38,000 euros. Norway, it's going to be 330,000 Norwegian kroners. And is this Swedish kroners? 449,000, basically 450,000 Swedish kroners. That's about 47,000. Why is there such variance in prices, Joey? Are these import costs or is it buying power? Like, why is it $33,000 in Norway, $47,000 in Sweden, $44,000 in Germany?
We know Elon's relationship with Norway.
I know, but if you want to move the needle, you're not going to endear yourself to them by putting it.
It's already like how many vehicles was it? It was like four. It was like four in the four figures. He's only selling a couple thousand vehicles over there.
It's very low.
It's very low.
Guys, I want to mention that DBRG trade is just rocketing up. This is an obvious buy program here, guys. It was a buy program earlier. It was consolidative. It held beautifully, and it is really going. These candles all have about 1.5 million to 1 million shares each. What's going on, Katina Man? Oh, pot one, finally. Oh, here we go. Katina Man's watching the draw as well. My man. All right, pot one. Here we go, baby. All right, so just to give you an idea of what the U.S. price is for that Model 3, it's about 36,990. So the one that really aligns the most there, it looks like maybe Germany. Tesla has also been facing intensifying price pressure from brands like BYD, MG, and local European OEMs as well, who are rolling out their own cheaper EVs. And it also follows the rollout of the lower-priced Model Y in Europe, another signal that Tesla is leaning heavily on affordability as a defense mechanism to maintain its market share on the continent. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to the big desk.
I do have some more updates here when it comes to PSKY, Netflix, and Warner Brothers Discovery. So Charles Gasparino just adding some color here to these reports that Paramount is now putting out a hostile bid. He is a Fox News correspondent, and I've said this a lot. If you're looking for news for WBD, Charles Gasparino is definitely the account to follow here on X. He's saying that apparently the reason Paramount Skydance is launching this hostile bid for Warner Brothers is because they think their $30 a share all-cash offer is a better deal than what Netflix is offering in terms of their cash stock and the value of the spinoff of the cable business. So just to clarify, Paramount trying to do $30 a share, and Netflix has had this offer here for $27.75. And apparently the issue, according to a separate report from CNBC, is that PSKY is valuing the Discovery Global Networks portfolio at roughly $2 a share. Well, Warner Brothers thinks it should be worth $3 a share. So just a little bit more color and context on PSKY, NFLX, and WBD.
All right, Joey, what do you make of Tesla and their cheaper Model 3?
I think at the end of the day, what comes to mind, Sharif, and I'm sure it's at the top of everybody's mind, is obviously margin compression. You got to keep an eye out on that. But as from a market share standpoint, if he wants to maintain that, it's tough. When you've been at the top for so long, there's only one way you can go, and that's essentially down, because you have some of these other Chinese EVs coming into play, and they're just starting to dominate the space as well, too. I mean, there's some quality. You can get all ends of the spectrum. You got the quality and the cheaper models as well. So, I mean, it's only down really from here. So the dominance that Tesla once had over in Europe is slowly starting to.
But I got to tell you something. Yeah. These Chinese EVs can be opulent, and they have technology that's just not available in North America.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have literally both ends of the spectrum. Like, you have the best of the best tech, and then you can just buy that little
You can get crap.
You can get the shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
All right, let's go on to the next story. SOFI drops after announcing a $1.5 billion stock offering. It's exactly $1.5 billion. This comes obviously after a massive run. SOFI's market cap has nearly doubled in the year of 2025, and the stock is up 6 times what it was valued at in late 2022. The proceeds of the raise are going to go as follows. 1, strengthening their capital position. 2, financial flexibility, as well as improving their internal capital management efficiency. And then, of course, the one that I like the most is funding future growth initiatives, as well as new business opportunities. Separately, in another article that I read, they are really looking to tokenize a lot of the different equities that they have, and that is going to cost some money. Apparently, that's really what they're focusing on here. And management is framing the raise as preparation for continued expansion and not a sign the company is in financial distress. To update you on their report, earnings report, which came in late October, revenue was up 38% year over year, just shy on the quarter of $1 billion in revenue. Net income, a healthy $140 million. That was more than double what they had taken home the prior year. And they got $3.25 billion in cash, as the Katina mentioned this morning. He's like, they got so much cash, what do they need another $1.5 billion for?
Yeah, who knows?
So we're going to see exactly. But what do you think of this?
Exactly, Sharif. And I mean, usually these offerings are never great for the stock, but you're not going to complain, really. It sold off aggressively. But at this point, you're still up 231%. You're up 300% over here, guys, 301 to be exact, from that level of $8.13 to $32.64. I'm not going to worry about SOFI too much. A nice consolidation off of these highs, and I wouldn't be surprised if this consolidation continues for a little bit longer, and then you just take an additional leg higher, because having cash on hand is always good.
The GOAT, Tom Brady, is now picking something out of the barrel there. Who does he got? Netherlands. So Group A, Mexico. Group B, Canada. Group C, Assassino, Brazil. Group D, USA. Group E, Germany. And then Group F will be the Netherlands. So we're still only at the first of the pack here. Here comes Brady opening up another one. What does he got? What does he got? Show it, Tom. Let's go. Belgica, Belgium, Group G. They're called the Red Devils. I like that. All right, shout out to Tom.
I like Belgium. They're good. Those guys are good, too.
They're great. I like Jeremy Doku. I like, obviously, Leandro Trossard because he's an Arsenal striker.
I used to like Germany, too, with Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger, yeah, he's retired now. Germany's got pretty good team. We'll talk about that later. Morgan Stanley, Joey, they gave MP the nod today. They turned bullish on the U.S. rare earth play, so they upgraded MP from in-line to overweight, and they boosted the price target from 68.50 to 71. MP's already surged 296% year to date at the time that this article was written. And why they're so bullish on MP? Well, they're saying MP is developing a fully domestic mine-to-magnet. That's another euphemism for vertically integrated mine-to-magnet rare earth supply chain, positioning it as the leading U.S. alternative to China's dominance. Even though China did pause the rare earth export restrictions for a year, Morgan Stanley notes this does not solve the U.S. dependency issues or slow the export licensing process in China. As a result, they think MP is important. MP's importance has been reinforced as well by the tie-up that they have with the Department of Defense, as well as this newly formed joint venture between the Department of Defense, MP, and Saudi Arabia's Ma'aden, I guess that's how you say it. MP also, Joey, is on track to become the only globally integrated rare earth supplier with full mine-to-magnet capability. To be fair, though, the Chinese companies that do this, that are very much involved in rare earths, they may not be vertically integrated themselves, but as a country, the country has basically 90% of the world's refining capacity for these rare earths. So even though one company isn't responsible for all of it, the country itself is doing just fine.
Yeah, working as a solid collective unit, absolutely. Keep an eye out on this, guys. So we talk about necklines being broke all the time here in MP materials and stocks across the board. You get that liquidity grab, but now you're starting to head right back into the middle of this range. Watch for an open up above 66. If we do get that eventually, and I'm going to be looking at this name come Monday morning to see if we can get a break above $66 and then maybe a little bit of a continuation to the top side. But I think this was enough liquidity absorbed right off of the neckline break and off of these lows, putting you down a substantial amount from those previous highs, Sharif. We were down 54%. Right, we've seen it in the likes of a lot of names.
I held through that entire thing up and the entire thing down. Yeah.
Diamond hands, baby. Yeah, so I mean, 54% from peak to trough right there.
Bro.
I think at some point that we're going to break through. And once I mention this, I'll mention it again. You get to open up above $66. Look for a potential long on MP materials, guys.
All right, here we go, guys. As I mentioned, Group A, Mexico. Group B, Canada. Group C, Brazil. Group D, USA. Group E, Germany. Group F, Netherlands. Group G, Belgium. And now here's the new one. Group H, Spain. Group I, France. Group J, Argentina. Group K, Portugal. And last, Group L. Man, they really made this a big World Cup. England. So I'm going for 3 teams. Obviously, it's Canada, Egypt, and England. Definitely going to be cheering for those 3. There's Thomas Tuchel as well. Shout out to Iker Casillas now, the great Spanish goalie, netminder, as they call him, speaking to the reporter there. Let's go on to the next topic. Cloudflare shares dip after a global outage, but a quick fix was issued. Cloudflare experienced a major dashboard and app malfunction early Friday, triggering outages across multiple high-profile websites. The outage did briefly impact large platforms like your LinkedIn's, your Coinbase, Substack, Shopify, HSBC, and Deliveroo. I've never heard of Deliveroo. Minutes, though, after acknowledging the issue, Cloudflare said it had implemented a fix and was actively monitoring the recovery. The event comes less than 3 weeks, though, after a similar Cloudflare outage, which was an incident that the company labeled unacceptable. To give you an idea of how important Cloudflare is, they provide core infrastructure for approximately 20% of the internet. That's insane, including, the Department of Defense, traffic routing, secure content delivery. Anyway, Cloudflare trades at a premium to basically the industry standard, which makes it more sensitive to these operational hiccups. Let's see where net is trading at right now, NET. They are still down 1 3/4% on the day. It looks like they closed at 204, but well off the lows there that we saw in the pre-market at around 193. So we'll have to keep an eye out on Cloudflare. Adara, what do you make of this?
Yeah, so I am very disappointed by Cloudflare because I'm like, really, in what world is it this difficult to not have outages? Like, we talk a lot about the CrowdStrike outage. We talk about the AWS outage, but both of those guys, guess what? Well, one of them, CrowdStrike, that was an update that went wrong. But these are one-time things. These are not things that recur. They are not things that should recur. So, yeah, big L here, in my opinion, for NET for having this happen twice in 2.5 weeks. And I think, too, just to go off of what Sharif said, because I think it's really important to remember the scope of Cloudflare in terms of the internet, right? Like when they had that outage, you couldn't access X, you couldn't access Canva. There were so many sites that just could not be accessed. People could not post. People were not able to do things to the full capacity. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be any comeuppance for this on any level, but I think maybe there should be. And I think if this happens again, 3-strike rule, things should get dicey. Hopefully this is the last time, but again, shouldn't have happened in the first place and definitely shouldn't have happened again so soon.
All right, thank you very much for that, guys. I want to mention DBRG is really going here. So it was a bit of an aggressive sell-off, but look at that hammer candle that formed. And then most importantly, the subsequent candle, higher lows, higher highs, a 1450 high. Guys, we were holding this in the 12s, man. It makes me feel stupid. Anyway, up 48.25%, looking to go 50%. Good look here for DBRG. Let's go, though, to the next story. ULTA Beauty raises guidance again as its Q3 earnings report outperforms expectations. They beat expectations of EPS coming in at $5.14. Joey, the street was looking for $4.64. What a beat that was on revenue of $2.86 billion. Another healthy beat. The street was looking for $2.72. So a monster beat on the top and bottom line there, man. And in addition to beating on the quarter, they raised full-year net sales guidance now to $12.3 billion. Prior to that, they had guided 12.0 to 12.1, as well as their EPS for full year raised 25.20 to 25.50, up from the prior guide of 23.85 to 24.30. The comparable sales outlook as well increased 4.4 to 4.7%. They were guiding 2.5 to 3.5. So this is a really fantastic look here for ULTA. The beauty consumers remain, though, value conscious, but are still spending, especially on seasonal needs and gift categories. CEO noted that Black Friday and Cyber Monday performance was strong, and it reinforces the company's outlook for the holiday season coming up. Fragrance, though, Joey, was the standout. They delivered double-digit growth for the fragrance category. and they expanded as well the fragrance shelf space up more than 60% of U.S. stores. They expanded the shelf space in more than 60% of the U.S. stores. Skincare saw good high single-digit increases, and hair care grew mid-single digits, as well as the continued expansion into the international segment. Joey, 7 new stores in Mexico, and the first Middle East store was launched in Kuwait, and they acquired Space NK, which gave them access to 83 stores in the UK and Ireland.
Okay, there you go. Expanding for sure. But new traders, listen up, first month free. That's right, we're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to elite, analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. All right, guys. Yeah, nice solid recovery in the market. As for Ulta Beauty, we just like using this as our benchmark, and that's going to be those April lows. You're currently trading up 87%, 88% roughly there from where we were standing at $326, now all the way up to $613. So that's a big time move. A little more of an expensive stock, but yeah, I mean, it's performing really well and expanding. Obviously, its customer base was just huge, so total addressable market starting to increase as well. So not too bad whatsoever. Apple, Katina, man, you see this long here. I know you're not mic'd up or anything, but there it is. You see this long over here, brother? Not too bad whatsoever on AAPL. But Adara, what do you have for us?
What I have is a stock called BACQ. This company is called Inflection Point Acquisition Corp. And they've moved before. I believe they are acquiring a name kind of in the aerospace space, which is why Ray Blanco is calling this one the Palantir of aerospace. Pop up for this one. I need to let you guys know, volume is not incredibly significant. It's around 900,000 shares traded on the day. So it's certainly not super low, but it's not super high either. BACQ on watch as we send you back to the midday show.
Thank you very much for that one, Adara. I don't have that thing for you. Sentinel-1 up next. Yeah, I mean, this Sentinel-1 was definitely on the upgrades and downgrades list this morning, so very interesting stuff. We'll talk about that momentarily. But as for the overall market, guys, we got NVDA, just the inability to break through this neckline here around 181.55, and then sure enough, we're now starting to trade up to 182.50s, punching through the volume-weighted average price. So you just have this sideways consolidation with the inability to crack lower, and then now you're slowly starting to climb. Netflix hasn't recovered. You're just right back towards opening price, not there quite yet. 98.77 is going to be OP, and then sure enough, we're trading at 99.67. So still south of that $100 mark. I think there's a good opportunity to be grabbing some. I'll grab a little bit more if we do breach the 90s and head into 89 or anything along those lines. I think this is a big time solid buy, and you want to try to take advantage of those. This is a massive deal with Warner Brothers, in my opinion. Yeah, so as for Warner Brothers, this is, and Netflix, this is a massive deal, right? So it's just complete dominance. Now you can watch all your Game of Thrones seasons on Netflix itself, hopefully in the near future. So there goes Ulta Beauty, though. It was a nice climb higher. Now starting to break through some key support levels right here around 604, heading into the volume-weighted average price. So that bull flag didn't work out for traders who are buying all the way up here. But be patient. This isn't bad whatsoever. It was kind of going off of the overall market, just climbing higher as the market was coming back in. So not too bad of a look whatsoever. Let's get a recovery in Netflix. No longer in play for the intraday session. I think it's off Friday. I think we're going to cool down a little bit more on today's session.
Yo, I think Shaq might be the biggest human being to ever do a World Cup draw.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's been bigger than that, Katina, man. I mean, he's a monster on that stage. He makes Brady look tiny, and Brady's pretty tall. Yeah, so Mexico is going to be with Korea. Okay. Canada has got Sweden in Group B. Brazil, oh, they took it off. Senegal and France are going to be in Group I. We'll get to those in a second.
It's back.
It's second. Okay, so there we go, Joey. Brazil is going to have Morocco. USA is going to have Australia. Germany is going to have Ecuador in Group E. Netherlands and Japan the same. Group F. Belgium and Iran in Group G. Spain and Uruguay. In Group H, you got France and Senegal in Group I. Argentina is going to be with... Let's go.
Let's go. Come on, man.
Is that Austria?
Yeah, that's what I see.
That's Austria, right?
Yeah, I seen Austria.
Yeah, that looks like it's Austria. I knew the Austrian flag. So Argentina and Austria in Group J. We'll find out who's Portugal and England are going to have in their group. Let's go on to Sentinel-1 Q3 earnings recap. Oh boy, this was interesting. Where is S right now? Because it was down substantially in the pre. It's SSR, it's down 12%, not a good look. So they posted EPS of 7 pennies, beating the 5 expected by the street, and swinging well above break-even levels that they were at a year ago. So improvements, but not good enough. Sadly, revenue coming in at $258.9 million. That's only up 1.14% year over year. And I don't know why that narrowly tops expectations of, that doesn't narrowly top at all. That's a typo there. They've eaten EPS consensus for 4 straight quarters, which probably speaks more to cost control than organic growth. The next the next move in the stock will heavily depend on their billing durability, their ARR growth versus their peers. We're talking, of course, about the CrowdStrikes, the Zscalers, the PanWs, and others. Margin expansion cadence as well will be operative, as well as the security market budget trends. We know that this is a very cyclical business. Sometimes you have outspend on cybersecurity, and then sometimes you got to control costs at the corporate level, and that's where they make cuts. Probably not a great idea, but we've seen it in the past. Joey, Sentinel-1 SSR, and looking real ugly.
Yeah, I mean, revenue up 211 million, roughly 28% year over year. Total AR, you addressed that already. Margins starting to increase. Gross margins ran in the high 70s to 80%, which is absolutely phenomenal numbers. But as for Sentinel-1, let's take a look at this stock. Today's intraday price action, not too clean. I mean, boom, you get that tank, and then you get the continuation of the PA. Look at this print right here. This is a thing absolutely beautiful. I'll take that from Obi. It's absolutely beautiful, nice indecision print at those highs from $15, and you get to take it all the way down to $14.64. But we have a super chat here, guys, from our good friend Lisberto. What's up, Lisberto? $4.99. Thank you for the show, guys. I appreciate you, Joey. Are you green or red today? If you're red, you need to put the heated vest back on.
Oh, no.
Well, good
it's
thing
not
we don't.
heated. Leave him alone.
Well,
bro.
good thing we don't need to put the heated vest back
on. My man. Look at this, Joey.
Let's see.
I like how he's always angry, right? He's got that anger. No, man, you do not see Kevin Hart right there, man.
Yeah, I said always.
He's like half the size of Shaq.
Literally.
This is fantastic. They're both on the stage right now, guys. This is great. We'll update you guys soon on.
Did you see that one clip? It was like Kevin Hart and it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Anthony Joshua, and they were all talking together.
No.
And then like Dwayne "The Rock" and Anthony Joshua like stepped closer to talk to each other, and like Kevin Hart was behind him, and he's like,
nobody could see him.
Yeah, he's like, well, I just did that. He's like, I just disappeared right there.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go on to the next topic. Okay, interesting one here from today. Costco adds former Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo to the board amid a tariff fight. Remember what we reported on a few days ago, that Costco was preemptively suing the Trump administration to collect the money that it had paid in tariffs. It argues that the tariffs are illegal, and it's trying to preserve its right to do so. So Costco appointed former U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo to the board. Chairman Tony James highlighted her government and international trade experience. As I just mentioned, Costco recently filed a federal lawsuit seeking to recover money it already paid in 2025 to satisfy the tariffs imposed by President Trump under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Costco's legal team is pushing for immediate reimbursement, arguing that if the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs later, next year likely, the company may not get its money back, as that money will have been reallocated. On Wednesday, though, the Court of International Trade consolidated Costco's lawsuit with 19 other similar lawsuits filed by other companies. The retailer, though, faces significant exposure to tariffs due to its massive input footprint, especially in general merchandise and consumer staples. What I think about here is this is going to, I think, antagonize the Trump administration. You sue the Trump administration trying to recollect tariffs, and then you have a Biden appointee in his administration to your board. It's not signaling kind of the play ball attitude that we've seen a lot of companies take. That could be good or bad, really, depending on your political philosophy. But the fact of the matter is, this seems like to speak some volumes here.
Well, I think so as well, too. I think it's not a good idea to go against the administration right now. We know that Donald Trump will flick the switch on you just like that. He'd be like, oh, you're his favorite one day, next day you're not.
You're not.
So at the end of the day, this could, you know what this is? It's kind of reminding me, Sharif, I think it's going to...
I just got to tell you, we got breaking news.
Oh, do we got breaking? Okay, yeah.
We got breaking news, Joey.
Keep an eye on DXYZ here. This is Destiny Tech 100. We know they hold SpaceX, and that's why they're moving higher here. Wall Street Journal reporting that SpaceX is in talks for a share sale that would send its valuation up to $800 billion. So again, SpaceX reportedly in a share sale that could send its valuation up to $800 billion. SATS was moving as well, apparently on this. Likely the same news here. So SATS and DXYZ on watch, as Wall Street Journal reports that SpaceX could be valued at $800 billion after a share sale. Back to you.
Know that. You knew that? Oh, good. Because that's exactly what happened. They do that for all their sports, by the way, Katina, man. Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland in Group B, Joey. But I want to hear your opinion.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's going to put a weight on the company's shoulders for quite some time until more of this starts to clear the air. And then I think that's when you can start to see Costco break through its channel.
That's an ugly downturn.
Yeah. And it's going to contribute.
Right,
I think it's going to contribute more to this. So it's going to act like a weight, kind of like we've seen in the likes of Google for quite some time with the antitrust. So until this is cleared over, which is going to take some time, you may not see a sustained rebound in Costco.
And can I say something? Didn't you and I just look to see the other day how much of their merchandise is imported so that we can make the comparisons to Walmart?
Yes,
and wasn't it less than Walmart's?
I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, it might have been less.
It was similar or less, right?
But see, the thing is, though, I'm pretty sure what Costco was doing, and they reported when the tariffs started to get implemented, was that they were chewing some of that cost so that they didn't put it back onto the consumers.
That's right.
But what they were doing is like the more luxurious goods, it's like, okay, you guys can eat that.
Higher margins, sure.
Exactly.
Right.
So now maybe they're like, hey, we didn't want to eat all of these costs. Now we kind of want a refund. We want our money
That's fair.
back, right?
But the reason I was bringing up the Walmart thing was to draw a comp, right?
Yeah.
If Walmart isn't doing it, does it really kind of, I don't want to say look bad. They're within their rights to file lawsuits and try to collect their money. Nobody can dog them for that. But when your competitor in a similar position is not doing that, does it make you look a little bit...
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's better for them to go and take this legal route, or maybe go and have a talk with Donald and be like, hey, what kind of deal can we
That's
strike?
interesting. I don't think they want to talk to him.
But clearly not, because they're suing him.
Yeah.
But which path, from what you've seen in a history standpoint, which one do you think is more the path of least resistance? I'm going to have to go have a conversation with the individual and see if you can strike something.
I don't think that they're interested, Joey.
No, they're not. They're clearly not. They're clearly not.
This is very interesting. I'd love to see how Costco is going to perform the rest of the year. But as Brendo mentioned in the morning, man, the lineups are still packed.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
so
gas
yeah,
that's
the
not
lineups
going
are
to
still
change,
packed,
right? And they raised membership fees as well.
They did. They do.
So.
All right, let's go on to the next story. What do we got, Katina, man? Egypt where? In what group? In Germany? No, we're in Group C, Katina, man. No, hold on. Where are we at? Yeah, okay. I can't see it quite yet. Waiting. All right, let's talk about Bank of America opens the door on crypto advice. Bank of America announced that it will allow its wealth advisors to recommend crypto allocations to clients beginning on the 5th of January next year. This is going to include Bank of America, Private Bank, Merrill Edge. Well, obviously, Merrill's owned by what's it called? Bank of America. Until now, advisors could only include crypto ETF orders for qualifying clients. Now they can actively actually recommend the coins and exposure. It's an institutional endorsement, nothing new, kind of late to the party here. But as we know, institutional demand and ETF adoption of crypto is rising. The Bank of America here, they note that increasing client preference for ETFs and ETPs as crypto acts as vehicles. They cite liquidity, security, and compliance simplicity. Access will no longer depend, though, Joey, on high asset thresholds, because I guess they were excluding people below a certain amount of deposits with them. Broader client segments may also receive advice on crypto allocation. This is nothing really shattering, but I just wanted to bring it here because it's something that we've been talking about, institutional adoption of crypto.
Yeah. Just kind of just a fundamental shift in which we're seeing. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a good step, right? You just want to, I say this all the time, just small wins left, right, and center. I was watching our guy Sorkin, your guy Sorkin.
Sorkin's growing on me, can I say?
You like
He's
Sorkin?
growing on me,
yeah,
bro.
You like Sorkin. That's fair.
I've been watching Sorkin for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I never really liked him a lot, but he's growing on me a little bit.
Did you watch, obviously, the whatever segment he has with,
Deal Booker, sorry.
Besant there?
I saw parts of it.
I saw parts of it. So, I mean, hey.
He was trying to press Besant. He's like, look,
Besant
you
wasn't
said
happy.
you didn't like tariffs back in the day. Why are you saying something different now? Besant's answer was quite simple. I allow myself to evolve in my thinking, and President Trump has convinced me this is a good thing. And now this is what I think.
Did you see the part when they were talking about inflation in blue or red states?
I did.
And then Sorkin gave them like this list. It's like, okay, over the span of 4 years, things are typically more, inflation's higher in these conservative states. But then Besant's like, no, in the past year, it's higher in some of the blue states, et cetera, right? So I find it kind of funny and entertaining to watch. I know Adara most definitely watched that, definitely. But hey, I like that the Americans are, for every child that's born, they get $1,000 into the S&P. That's it.
Hey.
Why don't we do something like that?
Why not?
That's phenomenal. So now you have, and I like his point to that, Sharif, is because he's like, hey, you have all of the new generation exposed. You don't want it to fail, right? You want it to continuously, the system to work. So as for the crypto stuff, just mass adoption, it's going to continue, and it's just a structural change in which we're experiencing right now. So as long as it continues to go on the path that it is, I'm sure that crypto will be just fine.
All right, guys, let's update you. Here we go. Group A, Mexico, Republic of South Africa, Korea. Group B, Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. Group D, USA, Paraguay, and Australia. Group E, Germany, is that Cote d'Ivoire? Yeah, Ivory Coast, I think, and then Ecuador. Group F, Netherlands, Japan, and Turkey, or Turkey. Are we supposed to say all the words like that now? You notice how they were saying what's it called? The names a little differently?
No.
Yeah, we got to say them the proper way now, Joey. All right, Group G, Belgium, Egypt, and Iran. Okay, Group H, Spain, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Group I, France, Senegal, and Norway. And then Group J, Argentina, Algeria, and Australia. Group K, Portugal, is that Uzbekistan? And Colombia. Group L, England, Croatia, and Panama so far. So I think we're still missing one team per group. So we'll see those ones shortly. This is the biggest World Cup. They've expanded the tournament into many more teams. Super excited about this. It's going to be at our back door, man.
Three countries of North America. I like when I think of a tournament, I think tight knit. You have everybody relatively close together, not traveling on a plane.
Well, that's why people like the World Cup in Qatar, because like all the cities were super close. They didn't have to travel, right? But yeah, it's not really possible here though, Joey, because huge. All right. Yeah, there's Yaya Toure speaking, I'm assuming, because of Cote d'Ivoire. Shout out to Yaya Toure. Great Manchester City legend, and obviously Barcelona as well. Big boy.
Think Canada can win its group?
Canada's a good team, bro.
Yeah, we are.
Don't crap on Canada. Canada's a good team.
They're better now than
they're a good team.
Because they were surprising at the last World Cup in Qatar, weren't they?
Yeah, they flopped a little bit. But that's our first World Cup, I think, since '86.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they made it there. They squeaked out a tie. Somewhere.
They're not bad. I think.
Because they got Alfonso, don't they?
I think we're better than the Americans, bro. I'm just going to put it out there.
That's
putting it out there. I think we're better than the Americans. We're going to get a lot of hate in the chat, but it is what it is.
I'll tell you one thing that I'm worried about right now is I don't know what's going on here. Did you see everybody talking about, obviously, the Malayan Olympics?
No.
So they're having trouble building the hockey arena, and it's late. So they're like, yeah, you just got to get all the Italians from Woodbridge over there to get them to finish it. But the rink is significantly smaller, and the Americans are looking pretty good, in my opinion. So I'm scared. That would be the worst case scenario if Canada lost the gold medal in hockey. I'll be devastated.
That'd be no good, brother.
I'd be devastated, man.
All right, guys, let's we're done the news, guys. Let's bring it back to some trading over here. We'll keep an eye out on some of these names that are running. DBRG is the one that I'm keeping an eye on here. Yo, let's bet, says Guerrero Fortuna. I haven't betting anything, man. Citibank, who's okay? Bet who can make it further, USA or Canada? I'll take a friendly bet with you, man. I'm going to go ahead and say Canada, man. Obviously, we'll bet. I don't know how I'd end up paying you. If you're American, I don't think I can send you any money, right? Because there's You're not part of the e-transfer network, but
tokenize everything.
Tokenize everything, says Joey. All right, I just got long here on DBRG. This is looking double bottomish off the 20. Let's see if it can get back above 14. We got 89s. It's already showing me 96s. Let's go ahead and post here just in front of 14, a little bit above 14. DBRG was very strong earlier on and then very strong again at around 1 o'clock. It's zigging and zagging now, trying to reclaim that $14 level. I'm going to pack my patience and keep an eye out on this one. Love a nice price spike up, possibly to test that 14.5 again. It is a 1468 high a day, up 43 and some odd percent. Shout out to T-Money, it's coming home. Shout out to you, my man. Hey, man, I'm going to cheer for the best teams if my teams get eliminated. That's kind of what you have to do at the World Cup. So if Egypt, Canada, and England get eliminated, we'll see who the best is out there, and we'll champion them, Joey. Yeah. My old man is a monster fan of Brazil. He's always been a fan from Pele. No, bro, from the days of Pele, bro. And Ustavio, Assassino, I know you're not a soccer fan, but you must know his name. Is his name Ustavio or the player? No, not Pele. Yeah, the other one, Ustavio or something like that. I'm totally forgetting. He's like an OG. Yeah, it's I'm forgetting the name. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I know you're not a fan of soccer. That's the first thing that I asked him when I met him. I found out he's from Brazil. I'm like, hey, you like soccer?
Oh, you know what? I never thought.
Yeah.
Assassino might be like a jiu-jitsu artist.
Eusebio. My bad. Yeah.
Assassino might be a jiu-jitsu artist, man, because the Brazilians are massive in combat. Oh, okay, he's not.
He just said not either in our ear, right?
So, yeah, we were wrong on that one. Yeah, you got to be careful of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, guys. The jits.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome, man. Everybody is responding. Eusebio, yeah, I'm sorry.
Eusebio.
I forgot his name. I personally love the 94 Brazilian team, man. That was Bebeto, Romario, and I think even, what's his name was it?
Was you like 12 in 94?
No, I don't think so either. Dunga, there we go, yeah, Dunga, bro, from the 94 team. They won. That was in America. And the 94 World Cup was in America, not U.S., Canada,
I think the
Mexico,
greatest soccer highlight of all time is when, what is his name, Maidana? Right?
Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna. How do you say it?
Maradona, bro. Maradona, bro.
Maradona?
You're killing me, Joey.
When he like flying knees, that guy?
Yeah,
that was sick.
He was one of the best of all time.
Yeah,
bro.
And he was
without question one of the best.
But then he ran into a little
hand of God, though.
But he
you heard about the hand of God, Joey?
No, he ran into some problems though.
Well, yeah, he had an addiction.
Yeah.
He had an addiction problem, and that's addiction is a beast. Yeah, Maradona, the hand of God in 1986, and he beat England, and England never forgave him for that.
Oh, really?
He headed the ball, but it was his hand. They didn't have VAR back then, obviously, so the goal counted, and everybody knew it was the hand of God.
You know what they say, Shreve? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
All right, guys, we're still in DBRG here as we wind down the show. The Katina Man, the OB, they're locked, they're loaded, and it is now their turn to go on. All right, DBRG is about to take out 14 here, Joey, so maybe we'll give them a couple more seconds here as we'll wet the beak at this level, up 43%, and putting in higher lows here on DBRG. Possible move back into 15. Keep your eye out on this one, guys. I'll see everybody shortly, though, at the big desk. Joey, send them off.
Yeah, have a good weekend, Hangry Wife. Yeah, we got UFC this week, and I hope everyone's had a fantastic one. 2 title fights. We had a solid trading session as well, too. One wrong name, essentially trading 7 of them, so another good one. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday, and don't ruin it just because it may not be your day. Bang.